My boyfriend bought a house with his brother. It's been less than an ideal living situation.
Move out.
That's the solution. I have been with my partner for about a year. Before our relationship, he purchased a big 4-unit home with his brother and brother's wife, so the three of them bought the home together with the long-term goal of eventually having 2 units to themselves, one for my boyfriend, the other for his brother and wife, and converting the remaining 2 units into a shared floor shared between them all. By the way, this comes from user ObjectiveOlive2510, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit.
Do it.
What are you doing?
Do it.
Go submit your stories over there. So, it's a beautiful old historic Victorian home that needs a lot of work done to it. Their mother had passed a year ago, so the money they received from her will they used towards the home. I came into the picture shortly after this big decision and their mother's passing. I've been renting an apartment for the past 6 years by myself. I've always lived alone, and even when I lived with family, I was pretty isolated. Both my parents have passed, and I have a pretty traumatic upbringing full of abandonment from my parents and family, substance problems, and an overall emotionally neglectful family. I do not have good relationships with my family members, so that's the gist of me. My partner's goal was originally to purchase a home with his future partner. That has now changed since purchasing the home. It's now that he sees himself living in this home and having kids here. I obviously aligned more with his original goal of purchasing a home with my partner. 2 tenants have left from the house, so they both occupy 1 unit now, which happens to be the future shared floor. I'm here all the time now for the past month since he's moved in. They've knocked a wall open to gain easier access to each other, so I can walk over to his brother's side right through a door. Imagine a hotel with a shared door you can unlock that goes to an adjacent room. Additionally, his brother is a vet/dog breeder, so they have tons of dogs, like 8 on the brother's side, which is a noise issue for sure. The problem for me is figuring out how I fit in this whole vision they have already carved out. Currently, the units they took over are 1-bedroom units. Long term, when they're able to fully occupy the house, they'll each have 3-bedroom units, essentially the size of a normal house in each. There won't be a shared door once we move to the bigger units. I was thinking of moving in a couple months so I could save on my rent and pay down my debts faster, but it's such an unusual circumstance, at least to me anyway. So, am I clocking this right? So they have 3 or 4 units in like a shared building, like an apartment space? Like maybe they're like penthouse units or something. I assume, I don't know, from the sounds of it, it sounds like they're pretty large, like they're extensive. So it sounds like they've bought like a huge space in like a apartment complex that they're knocking down the walls to, or like condos or something. Sorry, I'm just it was difficult for me to paint that picture in my head, so I'm just trying to get clear. Because at first I was thinking in the context of like houses, like units on like a property.
I don't
think
it's quite that.
Yeah, it feels like they're knocking down walls and like somehow they bought the whole penthouse of a building and they're knocking down walls in there. Because if you have 3 or 4 units with 3 bedrooms, or like 3 units with 3 bedrooms and then one with 1, it's like I'm having a hard time visualizing. If anyone in chat can help me out or has any more clarity than me.
It sounds like it's a duplex that they're turning into a single family house, possibly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So much room for activities, says Kimberly Fine. I really value my privacy and independence. His brother and sister-in-law feel I close myself off, but the way I see it, there's literally a door they can walk through at any moment to see me. You can't get any closer than being on the same property like 10 feet away through a door. So our relationship is strained right now because I do not exactly get along with his brother. I find his brother to be intimidating and cold. The sister-in-law I get along better with, but I'm still not exactly the closest with them. My boyfriend touts that I get an instant family with them, and that they will help me with anything. And once we're moved in upstairs, I will get more privacy and can do whatever I want to the space to make it our own. To sum it up, the kind of deal I feel is in front of me is that I'd have to accept the circumstances of the house with him and his brother and sister-in-law, or I have no future with him. It feels like I cannot choose my partner alone in this. My boyfriend says I guilt him and make him feel like he has to choose between his brother and me. Which I feel like that's wrong. If anything, it feels like the brother is probably putting that energy out there.
Yeah.
Part of me is unsure if I'm being too closed off due to my upbringing. I don't know how to accept the situation without feeling like I'm a bystander with all this. We got into an argument yesterday because of a room that is currently empty and in the process of being fixed up. We had a differing opinion on windows. I tore off some window frames without consulting his brother, and that caused an issue. We had stripped the paint off of them, but poorly, so I was getting frustrated and tried to expedite the process. His brother has, for the first time, texted me directly in our group, looking to resolve our differences, and here's how I look at it. Here's the pros. I'm able to get help from his brother and sister-in-law at any given moment, especially if we had kids. I could see that being a huge plus. It reduces the debt and overall home ownership cost. It is a beautiful home, and owning a home in New York is a big deal. I knew it.
Oh, then maybe it's like someone's saying brownstone.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Brownstone.
Like a brownstone in New York? Like one of the old...
But they're saying units. It's multiple units, you know? You don't really have multiple units in a house like a brownstone. So I'm seeing where it's like a high rise. Like they have multiple units.
But how they would not be. If it was a high rise, they would not be able to like take down walls.
Oh yeah, if you buy the apartment, yeah, they bought it. So it's like they own those apartments now.
See, I was thinking like old house that was like made into a bunch of like separate places, and then they got the house.
Oh, I guess that's
what I was seeing.
That could be true. Yeah. But it's like multiple. It would be in a massive house because you've got at least 2 units that have 3 bedrooms. So how does that work? So that's a 6, 7, 8. That's a 10-bedroom house.
I mean,
a 10-bedroom brownstone.
I don't know. I'm just throwing out other possibilities.
I just like the penthouse.
Oh, Kim says they said a Victorian house.
Oh, that's right.
Blast. Oh, they said a Victorian house, everyone.
Oh, shoot.
I feel silly.
It's a beautiful home, and owning a home in New York is a big deal. I wouldn't be able to buy a home on my own right now. I do woodworking projects, so getting to do a lot of DIY things will be nice once we have the 3-bedroom space. His brother being a vet is also a pro. And the cons. Unsure of boundaries and privacy at the moment. The dogs are loud, and currently, because of the shared door, there is a lot of noise, and it's not feeling like a single household. His brother will always be included in some way. I feel like a bystander. Well, I mean, you'd be a part of it. I don't get to own the home, and I do have to give up creative decisions on things such as the exterior of the home or the shared downstairs, since that will be his brother's decisions. I love my apartment. I made it my own, and I feel sad about leaving it. Anyone in a similar situation, can you chime in? Am I being selfish? Part of me thinks I am because of how independent I am. My boyfriend tells me to see the big picture of it all, but I struggle with it because I view things as wanting to only make decisions between him and I. And it's an awkward dynamic for me to accept that his brother is a huge part of the home. I always imagined my future relationship being its own entity, living with that person exclusively and having a family. I might be closed off to this dynamic as well because I am a deeply mistrusting person. I'm not sure how to process my thoughts on this, and there is an edit.
Yeah, when I move in, or when I have a partner, I'm going to live in a compound with my brother.
Yeah, oh yeah, you've made it very clear Sam is the package deal.
Yeah, and Sam has to deal with that.
I think with advances in cloning, we can come up with some very creative solutions to that problem.
I don't want to clone.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we can. Why, if we're coming up with cloning, why not just come up with teleportation?
Ooh, you know what? Yeah, hey, all you clone nerds, why don't we get off of clones and start working on teleporting?
Exactly.
Huh?
Way better.
Yeah, I'm trying to bully the cloning people into thinking that clones are so uncool that they have to do teleporting.
Gotta do teleportation.
Yeah.
They gotta do it. Anyway,
I can't keep that.
There's
going.
an edit.
Let's go to the edit. I spoke with my boyfriend about the situation and have decided to not move in until I'm ready.
Smart.
So I will be keeping my apartment. Also, I will not devote my spare time to doing housework there alone anymore, since it's too stressful and takes away from me doing things for myself.
Wait, you were doing housework for a place that she doesn't even live in?
What?
And also that like they've given her no like creative autonomy, you know? Like she's not allowed to like head any of the creative decisions.
It's like unless you move into this house right now with me and my brother and his wife, then clearly you don't want this relationship to continue.
Yeah, what?
It's such like a weird logical jump. Like there's just a a hole there that the logic is falling into.
Yep.
We will revisit the idea of me moving in sometime in the future, but we have no hard date on it. I've been reading all the replies, and I really appreciate the different perspectives, and we have an update. Thoughts?
The same ones that
Ideas?
I've already said. Don't move in here. I think the problem here is that they want you to move in, but also they don't want to give you any like say over anything.
Right. Which I guess
And also they want you to clean things.
to some extent it makes sense because I think it was like a family house
but I'm
or
just
something,
not
and it's,
understanding the
so
immediacy of having her move in.
right. That's the thing that it makes sense where they're like, well, this is like our family house, so it's like if you're not married into the family, it makes sense you wouldn't be on the title or deed
Yeah,
or whatever.
of course.
But also because you're not married to me and in our family, it also makes sense for me to not tell you it's something you have to do,
Yeah,
or the relationship's over.
exactly.
Yeah. So there's an update here. Let's hope it makes sense. This is a good update, actually.
This is a good. What is it?
This is good news.
This is good news.
Mark, I made a steak.
You made a steak?
Yes. I will not elaborate. This is a good update, actually. So it's been a little over 3 months since I posted. To quickly recap, my boyfriend had purchased a house with his brother and sister-in-law about a year ago, just a few months before I was in a relationship with him. So I had no say in the matter since I was not around.
Also, kind of crazy. Not like now that we're revisiting that information, kind of crazy that he's insisting that she move in when the relationship is seemingly only less than a year old.
Yeah.
He's saying
Yeah.
that she has to move in after like less than a year of a relationship or their relationship is over? What?
I think it's not an explicit ultimatum, but it's more like implied. That's what OP
yeah.
had been putting out
Icky.
there. A big 4-family Victorian that they wanted to convert into a 2-family with the majority of the space and house decisions going to his brother. Obviously, I wasn't okay with this arrangement for a multitude of reasons, but there wasn't much I could do besides voice my input. After reading through all of your responses on my original post, which I was super appreciative of, I decided to hold off on moving in with him. It was not a situation I wanted to move into immediately until I got a better feel of how things would go between him and his brother and the house. I also have a very nice apartment and do not want to give that up so fast. My boyfriend was definitely a bit bummed when I told him, but he understood. So I decided to wait things out and see if my boyfriend would naturally come to terms with the fact that long term, it wouldn't be a good decision for us as a couple. A few of you had said since his heart was invested in the house, there wasn't much persuasion I could have on him. I didn't push him on anything. I just let his brother's bad decisions and my boundaries do the talking. For example, if we were to move into the upstairs unit together, my boyfriend originally wanted to open up a door to the other side into the brother's unit. He said the brother wouldn't come through and that it would be private for us. I firmly disagreed and lamented on the current facts of how the situation is downstairs with the same kind of hotel door pathway to his side, where the dogs are barking and there's an invasion of privacy and it's not exactly our space. He eventually agreed to not open up the door and only have the front door, aka a normal house, not a hotel. His brother is also pretty rash, so he frequently will start up drama with him through text messages. Just last week, his brother decided to text him and basically said, I don't think the house is going to work out. I'm not going to be happy with the house, with how things are going now. You are at girlfriend's house all the time. She just wants her own private getaway. She doesn't seem to get along with the dogs, etc. To which my boyfriend said, yes, I think it would be healthier for me and girlfriend to get our own house. Therefore, there is no more talk of us moving into that house permanently. That's still, I think, not the right... What are we doing? Are we ready to move into a house?
No.
Are we ready for home ownership together?
No.
How?
Why are we ready for? Why are we even thinking about home ownership together?
Are we doing this just because we're like, well, I couldn't afford a home on my own? Yeah. Whoa. Not
Ming
a...
Ming says, OP, if you're uncomfortable with the idea, it's your instinct saying no.
Yes. And you still don't have to go buy a house with
Stop.
your boyfriend just because he doesn't want to live with his brother now.
Dude, it's been under a year.
Very, very weird. Very, very, very weird. So I was so relieved it came from his brother because I did not have to push him out of it. His brother did. Which, FYI, my boyfriend is only at my apartment 1 or 2 nights a week, max. I am super allergic to the dogs.
Oh, wait.
So yeah, I avoid them. So she's allergic.
That's huge information.
Allergic
She's
to
like,
the
she
dogs.
hates dogs. She's allergic.
Yeah.
She's allergic.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
What is it? Why are the dogs there? He's a dog breeder?
No, they just have dogs.
Oh no, he's a vet. It was because he's a vet / dog breeder.
Oh.
Yes. And yes, I want my house to be my private getaway. I don't know why he painted that in a negative tone. Yeah, he's like, she wants things.
She wants her own space. In New York? I don't think so.
Hey, bro, I don't know if you caught on to this, but she doesn't think like I do. So watch your back.
Yeah.
My boyfriend actually was relieved too. Now our talks have switched to us coming together as a couple and figuring out how to save up for a house in 2 years, which fixed my concern of thinking he only cared about the house in the first place. Although I gotta vent a bit, I am bummed that his brother essentially stole this time from him and money as well. He had money for a home before he put it all on this one. Now we have to wait for his brother to pay back his share. Also, he can't be considered on another mortgage until they refinance the house and remove him in 2 years. That sucks. I do make a good salary and have excellent credit, so I could potentially qualify for a mortgage on my own.
Stop.
We just need to wait, save, and pray that the New York housing market simmers down. It just sucks that his brother has really come in between him starting his own life. That's how it feels, at least. It feels one-sided, like his brother seemed to call all the shots, and now my boyfriend is paying for it. Like, literally and figuratively, he is paying for it. At this point, the issues are financial. His brother's a vet who makes more than double what my boyfriend makes, yet he doesn't pay most of the mortgage. My boyfriend has been floating most of the mortgage payments, paying for a new roof, blah, 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 blah. He can't pay off his credit cards because of the money tied to paying the roof. They are all essentially in a financial hard spot. Overall, though, this is excellent news. I'm just glad I won't have to move in there forever. My boyfriend would still like me to move into his apartment soon, though, for the meantime, to help us save up. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. I'm still on the fence because I don't like the situation.
If you're on the fence, don't do it.
If you know what you want, get what you want, not what you don't. For the love of God.
Should be like super excited to move in or don't do it.
We were going to do a month trial run of me staying over, see what issues I have, and fix them before I move in. Or I just say no entirely and don't move in. He's in a financial pinch right now, but I don't want to move in based on that alone, even though it would be temporary, but 2 years is quite a long time. I would rather pay the rent at my place for my own sanity. And by the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this for your sanity. All you have to do is go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio, really any podcast platform, and search OK Storytime.
Yeah.
And there you will find all of our words.
All of our words.
And you can listen to it till your heart sings.
My advice is, girl, don't let anyone pressure you into doing something that you don't feel ready for. You have been in this relationship, it seems, for less than a year. It is okay for you to be like, hey, maybe we're not ready to move in together.
Yeah.
And him going all these different directions to try and get you to move in with him, weird.
A little sketchy.
Little
sketchy. Yeah, and to boyfriend. Why are you letting your brother just like run over you, dude?
Yeah.
You know?
Stand up for yourself. It's your money too.
Go on. Have a voice.
Speak up.
Let's finish this story. Edit. I think there's some confusion based on some of the replies I've read. My boyfriend still lives in the house they bought together. He's not being removed. He will still live there until me and him were to find a place to call home. So he's staying there and I'm staying at my apartment until we make a decision on if I move in with him or vice versa, or if we just stay put where we are. There's no rushing that part. So the good about this update is we plan on buying our own home in the future together if all goes well. Him and the brother are trying to work through the issues, and that is the end of that story.
Folks. There we go.
Well, I guess she's pretty serious about it if she's basically talking about like buying a house with this guy is a foregone conclusion.
But she seems like still hesitant. The only reason that I feel like she's bringing it up is because he keeps bringing it up.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't do things because you're like supposed to on paper or because someone else is
saying, "Oh, it's a great idea." Like if your gut's saying, "I don't know if I'm ready for that."
Yeah.
Trust your gut.
You can't just walk into a sketchy situation because someone is telling you to.
Indeed.
You gotta feel it in your heart, in your soul. But that is the end of that
Story.
And are we doing another one?
We got one more.
Okay, we're doing one more. My husband always ruins my birthday.
You're not invited to my birthday party.
You're canceled from coming to my birthday party. It is my 41 female birthday.
Happy birthday.
Today.
Happy birthday.
Happy Borf.
Birthday. My husband, 49 male, of 19 years, can be an a-hole. I don't need anyone to tell me that. His crappy behavior is few and far between, though. Most of the time, we get along. We love each other. The spice of sleep is great and fairly frequent. He's very unselfish in the boudoir and helps out around the house and jumps in with the kids whenever needed. Generally, a good husband with some bad qualities. By the way, this comes from user AccurateSwimmer326, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Keon.
And let's see what OP has to say. The problem arises when we try to resolve conflict. He becomes extremely defensive to the point of aggression. Hence this post. Your husband sounds bad.
Sounds bad. And also, I did the math. 20 and 28. Not crazy. But if he's acting like this,
Bad.
sounds a little not great.
Last year on my birthday, I didn't, quote, tell him clearly enough what I wanted while we were planning the evening. He ended up snapping at me and then giving me the silent treatment. The snilent treatment. It's when you snap and give him the silence. Snilent. I hate the snilent treatment. I cried while driving myself and our kids to the trampoline park. That's where I wanted to go.
Oh,
I love it. He doesn't.
that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah. How do you hate a trampoline park?
How are you gonna hate a trampoline park? Are you just not? You have no joy in your heart?
What a loser.
I really want to go back to the trampoline park now that I have muscles,
He's afraid of the... What?
so I can do the ninja warrior section.
There's a Ninja Warrior
Yeah.
section?
You need muscles to
Oh.
go to the trampoline park?
Yes.
I want to try that.
When
That
you would
sounds
jump,
sick.
would you just like collapse? Like,
Not for the jumping part, anyway.
That's why he doesn't like the trampoline park.
Yeah, he's like,
'cause
I
he's
don't have
not strong
muscles.
enough. This year, I was clear. I said I wanted to go to the pool or maybe that adventure park nearby. Think David Buster's, but with a zip line.
Sick.
He told me not to plan anything because he had a surprise.
Honestly, he needs to stop planning things or surprising you.
Yeah.
And you need to plan everything just so you can have a fun day.
Yeah, clearly this guy is not
He doesn't know what you like.
equipped to plan. While I was out running a quick errand with my daughter today, he called me and told me to come home because the surprise was almost there. The surprise was he invited my mother over for the day. My mother and I aren't close. She's emotionally cold and distant, sometimes flat out rude. He knows this. Our relationship is unfulfilling at best, disappointing at worst. She'll literally pretend I'm not speaking and start talking to someone else mid-sentence. We don't spend time together, and it's not like he likes her either. So far today, we had 20 minutes at the table for cake. Then he went into the hot tub alone, and now he's downstairs playing video games. I'm stuck here with my mom, who will probably stay until bedtime.
It feels like he hired a babysitter who you don't like for you,
This is
an adult, so that he didn't have to hang out with you.
hiring the op to babysit you. And the op is your mom.
And the op
Which is
your
unfortunate.
mom. Truly, I don't understand. Because he could just let you go. If he really hated the trampoline park, it's still insane that he won't come to you on your come with you on your birthday. But he could just let you go with the kids. And then plan something nice after you come back.
He's like, I don't want to feel left out while you guys enjoy all the trampolines that
He's
I
like
hate.
not even spending time with you. So why not let you do something that you want to do?
Yeah, this guy sucks. I feel like my day is ruined. I'm seething. In all fairness to him, he did buy me flowers and several pieces of Coach jewelry, even though I don't wear jewelry, which he knows, so it's useless.
Useless.
It feels like he threw money at the day, invited my mom over to babysit me, and now he's off the hook to do whatever he wants. I feel angry and overlooked, handled, and then abandoned.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what he did.
That's exactly
On
what
your
he did.
birthday.
That's exactly
On your
what he did.
freaking birthday.
How do I bring this up without it turning into a huge fight?
Fight.
Fight. Let them fight. I want to talk, not trigger a blow up, but I'm furious. Please give me a blueprint for how to handle this. And we have some relevant comments, but how would you handle this, Sophia?
Okay, honestly, nothing I've heard about this guy has been anything pleasant. She said he's good sometimes, but for the most part, he's kind of not good. So, divorce. I'm just kidding. No, you've been married for 19 years and you have kids. Don't divorce yet. But I think that you have a conversation with him and you say, hey, if you think that you're having trouble figuring out what I want for my birthday, let me plan it next year. Let me just plan one, and then I just want you to come be with me.
Yeah.
That's it. Just want you to be there. I'll plan it.
All you gotta do is ask.
Yeah.
If you cared.
Yeah. But the thing is, he knows what she wants to do.
Yeah.
So I just be like, you know what I want to do. You know I don't have a good relationship with my mom. It felt like you didn't see me and on this day that's supposed to be about me. And if you can't, like, if you feel like you really just don't know what I want on my birthday, you can't figure it out, I'm going to plan it. But I do want you to know that you've let me down.
Here's what you do, OP. You do what Sophia and I do. Instead of a birthday, you do a birth month.
Yes. Dude, we should have a combined birthday party because I'll already have 2 other parties, so we can just...
And I already have like 10 other events.
Exactly. So we'll just combine birthday party, just one of our multiple birthday parties.
Yes, we're going to have Kofia.
Yeah.
A Kofia party.
Ko-Fi link.
The Ko-Fi. I think you just
June
ask
is only our month. Nobody else has a
questions.
June birthday but
Yes.
us.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
instead to do this without a fight, you just go like, so why
did you do that?
you invite my mom over for my birthday?
You don't like her? I don't like her. What was the thought process there?
Yeah, just questions. Why did this happen?
Do you like my mom? No. Do I like my mom? No. So why?
Why? Wielder of aphorisms says that, my dear stranger, is total BS. That's not a birthday. That's punishment with a consolation prize.
What's the consolation prize?
I don't know. I truly don't know. May I suggest that you plan your own birthday celebrations going forward? He should not contribute anything at all. Happy birthday and sorry. OP says, thank you. I tried to plan it. That's when... No. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. What is it? Where did it go?
Old Drylight, I'll explain what's going on. So basically, OP, it's her birthday today, except probably not today, but whenever this was posted. And all she wanted to do was go to the trampoline park. And instead of listening to what she wanted to do, her husband invited her mom over, who she doesn't really like and he doesn't like, and then like ignored her and went and played video games.
Yeah.
TLDR.
He's got a lazy husband who's completely... He's checked into the Hotel California.
Ain't that the truth? We ready?
Yeah.
You can never check out.
OP replies, thank you. I tried to plan it, and that's when I was told not to because of said surprise. I guess I need to plan it earlier and more forcefully. Lurker the pimp says, next time tell him, no, I will plan my birthday. He 100% knew he screwed you over and bailed on you. He chose this. You told him what you wanted, and he decided to do something miserable and bail on you. Does he even love you? Are there other issues? OP says, I'm not sure. I think he wants to love me. Being a family guy is important to him after having no dad in his life growing up. Does he love me? I don't know.
Oh.
This has gotten real bad.
Oh. Well, if we don't know if he loves you or not, that's... Oh. Oh, no.
He might like me.
You got to have a conversation about that.
I think he likes me on weekends, and that's it.
He likes me on the weekend.
Anyway, wow.
You gotta go to counseling with your husband.
ASAP.
OP says, we get along well 99% of the time, but I don't force this issue anymore. His work keeps him away a lot of the time, so I live in a sweet little bubble with my kids. I'm close with them, even the teens. I try to let them and my religious faith meet all my needs. That's difficult when I feel actively hurt. And there's an update.
But that's it. She's religious. Probably feels like she can't divorce, maybe.
It just sounds like
Sounds like you guys
maybe
don't.
you're like, he's fine 99% of the time, and he's gone 98% of the time. So you only see him 2% of the time, and half of that is
bad.
when he's being bad.
Quick math.
Girl, like, I honestly think now, less of a joking way, you should divorce because you don't even know if he loves you. I mean, have a conversation first, of course. Go to counseling. But like 19, how long have you not known whether or not he loves you? Because that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, when was the love checked out? Or was it even there to begin with? That's the real question.
Or was this just kind of like you were young, you had kids, you maybe were raised in a religious, kind of expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that we get along together is like, that shouldn't be your
Feels like you guys are kind of roommates?
Yeah.
But not even very good ones?
Yeah. Well, there's an update. We spoke about it today. It began with some crappy defensiveness, but calmed down after a few minutes to regroup. His answer to me was that in mentioning to him how good my mom was doing in her grieving process, he interpreted that to mean my relationship with her was doing good. He actually invited my sister and brother-in-law, who couldn't make it at the last minute. She is late in pregnancy and has frequent migraines now, and it wasn't just supposed to be my mom, which makes way more sense to me. I told him I was disappointed, but he still abandoned you all day and went downstairs and played video games alone without you.
There's really no excuse.
That's like so flimsy.
Really no excuse.
I told him I was disappointed. He asked if I wanted to go out Friday to a movie and dinner. I said no, I want to do water park.
Yes.
So he agreed.
Good.
He's presently on the website to buy tickets. I also wanted to address a few of the comments suggesting that getting along isn't being happy, and it's possible I phrased it wrong. We actually have a good time together. It isn't just non-argumentative, it is good. Like he rubs my back and picks up my prescriptions and notices when I'm stressed out and asks if I need an afternoon out.
But if you don't know if he loves you, that is a conversation that needs to be had.
You youths.
And your love.
You youths
You
and
think
your
me
love.
and your father ever loved each other?
Don't you know marriage is about a 401k and split assets
That's
and
what it feels
prescription
like.
pickups?
It feels like it's like the only thing holding them together is obligation. And I really don't want that for you, OP. I mean, again, 19 years marriage, kids, don't run to divorce as the first option, but have conversations about this.
Yeah. We are horrible at conflict resolution. That's it. I make his appointments and light the fireplace and make dinner so it's welcoming when he walks in the door. I'm aware that I'm the partner who cares more. It is what it is. He's presently watching cartoons and painting our daughter's nails.
That's cute.
My romantic fulfillment isn't the only thing at play here, and it also isn't an unsolvable problem. I appreciate all the responses, and there are more relevant comments, OP adding in the comments, yes, I know we have issues. I realize his behavior is not acceptable. I also realize that half the problem is that I've been accepting it. As pathologically defensive as he is, I'm pathologically averse to conflict. I'll eat something for 10 years because I'm scared to say anything to anyone. 10 years eating boiled carrots and mushy peas?
And you're like, so good.
This is not just him, it's my whole family. I'm a product of my environment too. And asking how is OP's husband around holidays, he's usually pretty decent about holidays. He stays up to wrap all the presents. I make a house full of rhyming clues for the kids to find their Easter baskets and Christmas stockings, which he gets into if he's home. Like when I said idyllic little bubble, I meant it. Abandoned kid, never saw anything like this up close, so he learns as he goes. Has had to relearn everything that ever helped him survive, and he's gotten past a lot, mostly through counseling and recovery programs. I want to make this as balanced as possible because I hate Reddit stories that paint one person as a hero and one as a villain by cherry-picking information. I'm aware his faults regarding his temper are extremely toxic. This is a person with good traits who will see a single mom and her kids in line at Subway and slip the cashier enough to buy their whole meal and never breathe a word that it was him. Who cut my dad's lawn an hour away when his CHF made it impossible to walk across the yard? He's ready to apologize after he realizes he's screwed up. He doesn't like gaslight me or blame me later.
Congestive heart failure.
Dang!
Thank you, Cheryl. Yes.
Congestive heart failure. Well, there's a second update, so I guess he's just a terrible little birthday man?
Well, it just seems like he's not fulfilling a lot of areas of the relationship and she's not bringing it up. And that's the problem. It's like they haven't had a conversation in 20 years. You know, and it feels like all of their problems have been building and building and building because she's too afraid to talk about it.
It feels like the relationship got very stale.
Yes.
And everyone just settled. Everyone's like, all right, cool. You're distracted with your own thing. I'm distracted with the kids.
Literally, she's like, I don't know if he loves me, but, you know, do I need him to love me?
Yeah, it's like we've been together for so long. At this point, it's just like we're just happy. I mean, like we go about our day and like, we high five.
We feel fine.
Yeah, we high five each other and we give them like a little like, hey, what's up?
No, you
all
need
right.
to.
How's it going, sport?
Literally, like a
You
like a
need
little
to talk
fist
about
bump.
it.
How are we doing, champ?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the second update. 11 months later,
Oh.
things have happened.
I sure hope so. Or maybe we're about to get another birthday coming up.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm planning my birthday.
Uh-oh. I'm about to turn 42. So time for an update. This past year, we hit a point of no return that pushed us into counseling. It's been nothing like I expected. The program we're in requires you to stay in your circle, meaning you can only answer questions about yourself, your habits, beliefs, and responses. Not your partner's, just yours. Like I mentioned before, my religious faith emphasizes faithfulness, humility, and self-denial in marriage. But I've come to realize that codependency isn't a sacrificial virtue. It's being a self-aggrandizing martyr, stepping over the boundaries God does set for the marriage. My biblical advice is don't do that. Forgiveness and patience are important, but being a doormat and allowing sin in your home is not. His progress has run parallel to mine. He started recognizing destructive and harmful patterns as his responsibility, not something I caused by what I did or said. Whether I made a benign comment that triggered his PTSD or hypothetically smashed his windshield with a baseball bat, his reaction was still his to own. A perceived attack, even a real one, doesn't justify turning around and hurting me emotionally with his temper. I reread a lot of the comments on my original post. Some made wild assumptions and others hit the nail on the head. Yes, he was selfish on certain issues, and no, I didn't have the self-esteem or courage to speak up back then. Now, almost a year later, we've done some hard things, still doing them, things like being honest about who we are, to ourselves, to God, to our circle, to each other. It's unfamiliar territory. I feel incredibly vulnerable, but I don't want my daughters to grow up and repeat this. I have an obligation to show them that people can do better if they want to. The other day, he apologized to our daughters for how he had behaved in front of them, then to our son, but first and foremost, to me. And by the way, you'd have to apologize to all of us if we catch you not listening to full episodes of stories just like this on your favorite podcast platform, whether it's iHeart or Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen, just search OK Storytime.
Better do it.
And you can listen to every single word we've ever said in our whole lives.
Said a lot of words. This turned out really well. I'm really happy that they finally spoke.
I like it.
I like it. This is what I was saying. I was like, I don't actually mean divorce because you guys have been together for so long and have such an intertwined life. And also because you never actually talked about these issues. So don't jump to divorce or leaving your partner before you've actually had a conversation. Because that kind of communication and relationship style follows you into your next relationship. Yeah. It doesn't fix anything. It just isn't like a little Band-Aid. It's like, oh, okay, we got rid of the problem, but right. You got rid of the symptom, but the underlying problem is still there.
Yeah, and it also shows your kids, set them up for like what kind of relationship they want or what they don't want.
It's like, no, we're not. Like, I don't want to show you guys that it's okay to accept this type of behavior in a relationship. There should be love. And if there isn't, then either you got to find a way to fix that or we break up, divorce,
Exactly.
So props to you guys.
Let's finish this story. We're planning a trip for my birthday without my mother. Haha. At the end of the day, you know your partner. I knew he could change. I knew he wasn't just playing a role. He wanted to be more. He just lacked the skills. I knew I should change too, but I told myself I couldn't. It was easier to stay codependent and anxious and expect him to carry all the weight. If your partner has the character and commitment to grow, he can. But if you think the problems have nothing to do with you, you're wrong. Even if your only role is allowing them to continue. Forgiveness without accountability is just permission to do it again.
Bars.
I'm what was it?
I don't know.
Snapperfice?
Snapper.
Crackle pop.
Snafter.
Anyway, folks.
That's that.
I love it. I love a story where things get better.
Ooh, forgiveness without accountability is just permission to do it again. Oh!
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Oh!
But folks, we got another story to read, and we're about to get into that. We are going to get into this next story. I refuse to attend my son's wedding because of my cheating wife.
That's a good reason?
And trigger warning, emotional abuse. And also this comes directly from the r/OK Storytime subreddit.
You're kidding me.
I ain't. Okay. I, 53 male, was married to my ex, 51 female, for 23 years. We met in college and had a spark right away. We had dated for just a short time before we got engaged. We had a lot of the same goals and beliefs, same religious beliefs, number of kids we wanted, life goals, etc. We supported each other as we finished college and had our first son in our last year of college. By the way, this comes from Just Perspective 3843, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, And when I graduated from college, I was lucky enough to get a job in a small town near my family. My family loved my ex. For context, I had a great childhood. Ooh, looky here.
Wow, that's so cool.
Mr. Big Britches.
Big show off.
And look where you are now.
My parents were very loving and always supported me. Her parents were very controlling, and she often told me how hard her childhood was. And even though she loved her parents, felt her household growing up was not a healthy environment. So, when my parents and sisters accepted her as just part of the family, she told me often how much she loved my family. For the next few years, we lived a simple life. I was a school teacher, so we didn't have a lot of money, but we had a nice home because of some land my parents gave us. We had 3 more sons over the next several years. She was able to be a stay-at-home mom while I worked, and picked up odd jobs here and there to help supplement my teaching income. We both grew up in poorer homes, so money and lavish things just weren't important to us. We were just happy with our little family. Or so I thought.
Dun, dun, dun.
Once our boys got a little older, we decided to invest in a small business in town to be able to give our boys jobs. Like I said, this is a small town without a lot of opportunities. We bought a small restaurant, just a little diner, and gave our older boys jobs while my parents helped watch our younger boys.
Nepotism. Wow.
Nepotism, right? So outright.
Wow. No, I'm just kidding. That's fine.
We also hired local high school kids to help as well. My ex, let's call her Nina, would work just part-time hours while the kids were in school. Then turn it over to our nighttime manager so she could be home with the kids. Let's call me Craig, was transferred to a school in a town about 20 to 30 minute drive away. But I would help in the business on weekends and holidays and whenever I could.
Good. Hey, that's good on you, Craig.
Good on you, Craig.
Craig.
I also took care of all of the money side of the business, so Nina just had to worry about the day-to-day. We seemed to be having a great marriage. At least I was happy.
Hey, when Craig's happy, everyone's happy except Nina.
Fast forward to 20 years into our marriage, Nina comes to me and tells me she's upset with my family. Her parents had recently retired to our state from another state about a 5-hour drive away. She tells me she's moving and taking the boys and doesn't care if I go or not. What? You can't just do that.
You can't do that.
I was floored. I asked her what the issues were with my family, and she just said that she never really felt comfortable with them and wanted to be closer to her parents. I tried to get more, but that's all she would give me. I didn't want to lose my family, so I agreed. I started looking for teaching jobs in the new city and was able to find one right away. So we sold our home and our business and packed up and moved in with her parents. It feels like y'all didn't have any plan. You just left.
Is she doing this because she already cheated, or is she doing this so she can get closer to the person she wants to cheat with?
I don't know. Is she trying to get further away from her cheating partner or closer? It's the question. My boys did not like the move, especially the fact that we had to move in with her parents. They're not very loving with my boys, and even though they said they were happy to have us, they seemed annoyed every minute we were there. Luckily, we were only there for 3 months before we were able to get into a nice house from the sale of our house and business. Nicer than anything we had ever had. Finally, I thought Nina would be happy. Nope. As soon as we got settled into the new house, she began to get distant. Our spicy sleep life became non-existent. Everything I did annoyed her. We had always been a religious family, but she stopped going to church with us. I tried to talk with her, ask her to go to counseling, but she just insisted nothing was wrong. That would be the most frustrating thing to me because something is wrong. I'm telling you something's wrong. I don't like how this is going. There's a problem.
Nuh-uh.
You can't say nothing's wrong. I don't care if you think nothing's wrong. I'm telling you something is wrong.
But what if I said, nuh-uh?
What if I Uno reverse said, no, there's nothing wrong.
Nuh-uh.
You can't do anything now.
You go, nope, nuh-uh.
After over a year and a half of this, I finally had enough. I sat her down and said we had to talk. She told me that she loved me, but she wasn't in love with me anymore. I was obviously devastated. I asked her what I had done, and she just said she was just a different person now. Or she was with a different person.
Yeah,
oh,
I'm a different person because I've been with a different person.
I've been cheating on ya. Oh. At the time, she was working, and I was working 2 jobs to make sure we could make ends meet. I didn't know how we were going to go through a divorce and afford to live. I just went in my room and cried. I didn't sleep that night. The next day just happened to be Father's Day. I went for a drive and I called home to tell my dad Happy Father's Day and told him what had happened the night before. Happy Father's Day, Dad. My wife's leaving me.
Happy Father's Day, Dad. She's a skunk.
She's a skunk.
She's a skink.
She's a stinker. My dad proceeds to tell me that he needed to tell me something. Oh no. Oh no. Nina had been cheating on me. One of our high school employees, who was a daughter of my dad's best friend, had left her purse at our restaurant one night and went back to get it. When she walked in to get it, she caught my ex and a guy in the back room having spicy sleep. I'm glad I finished that sentence.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Almost really concerning. She told her dad and he told my dad. He told me he didn't want to tell me because he didn't want to break up our marriage, but since she was already ending it, I should know. Why didn't you tell him? I would be so upset with my father if he didn't tell me this. If he knew this and didn't say anything. I wonder if it's like religious, like cultural stuff, kind of. You know, they said that they were both religious. They go to church. Maybe he was like, I don't want to lead to a divorce if I can help it. But come on.
What are you going to do, buddy? Are you going to like put on a Mission Impossible mask and like pretend to be the other guy? Wait, it's over.
It's over.
She's banging Buddy in the back of the restaurant.
Oh boy.
That's unsanitary, by the way.
Yeah. You're going to drop some grades on that restaurant, you know.
Something's being dropped in that restaurant.
Ew. Yeah, Dad, that sucks. That was not cool. I just went numb. I think I just hung up the phone and stared out my car window. I drove back home and texted my ex to please meet me in the car. She came to the car and I told her what I knew. She tried to deny it, but I told her how I knew and she finally admitted it. I asked her who, and it was one of the guys from our couple friends we used to hang out with. I used to golf with him all the time. It was like a knife in the back. She had no emotion as she was telling me this, but now the past 2 years all made sense. Why she wanted to move away, why she was so distant. The next week, I just went through the motions. I called a therapist and just bared my soul. It didn't help. I didn't know what to do. After a week, I started to think about things in our relationship. Things I had seen, heard, suspected over the years, and just blew them off because I trusted her. I confronted her and basically told her I was sure he wasn't the only one. I guess the guilt finally got to her because she finally had a look of remorse for the first time.
Oh no. The dam is breaking.
Yeah. She then began the trickle through. He wasn't the only one. At first it was 3, then 5, and finally 7. She had 7 affair partners over 4 years. She was basically using our restaurant as her own personal whorehouse.
As her own personal silly goose factory.
No wonder there's extra cream in the back.
Ew. That's crazy. You're employing your kids there and you're telling me that no one ever found out until that one high school kid.
This crab did what to this rag?
Any guy that would show interest, she would basically spread her legs for them. I also found out that one of the guys was an ex-con ice dealer, and she was smoking ice with him as well. Understand, we don't even drink, smoke, nothing. I mean, yeah, they're regular churchgoers. I would assume you weren't. She also contracted an STI and told me that she had a UTI, so I would stay away from her while she was taking medication to clear it up. Yikes. Go get tested, OP. I asked her if she ever used protection with any of them, and she said no. You idiot.
S-K-A?
No.
Ska. From that point on, for the next 2 months, I was just in robot mode. I got tested for STIs and fortunately was negative. I couldn't eat or sleep. I lost 30 pounds in less than a month. She begged me not to tell her parents or our kids. They probably know. I can't even remember agreeing to this. Because of finances, I agreed to use a mediator instead of lawyers for the divorce. Big mistake. She definitely took advantage of my state of mind. She ended up keeping the house and 50-50 custody of the kids. Dang. I moved into an apartment about 5 minutes away. Because I was working 2 full-time jobs, I ended up paying child support for my 2 youngest kids. My 2 oldest had graduated by now. This left me with 4 years of child support. I just agreed because I wanted it all to be over. By the way, it is never over with us because you can listen to full episodes with stories like this all the time if you go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left of this story. Ouch. Ouch. I would be so angry with my father if he knew for seemingly a while that she was cheating on me. Just puts you in danger, fully put you in danger. Could have contracted an STI. If you know that people are getting cheated on, let them know, especially if they're your children and or family member or close friend. Let them know. You don't want them to get an STI, do you? Anyway, there's a little bit left to this. She sucks.
She needs to go get her stink glands unstunk because she's a dirty little skunk lady.
Yep.
And I hate so much that she finessed you out of the house.
That sucks.
That's
like,
the
she finessed you
dumbest
out of
shit I've ever heard.
more child, custody and out of your house.
Lawyer, my house. We moved because you cheated on me with 7 guys. My house.
There's a little bit left. We are now in a bigger city, so I do not see her at all. My kids are now all adults. 2 of them now know, 2 of them still do not. I forgot the name of this story. Her parents still think I was the cause of it all. I would tell them. I have not had contact with her for almost 6 years. When I've seen her in passing, I get a sick feeling in my stomach, even to this day. I have not been able to hold on to a relationship for more than 3 months. Yes, I am in therapy, but I am a mess for sure. She was the love of my life. Even though time has made it better, I still find myself lost at times. Now, my son is getting married. I know he wants us both there, but I don't think I can be in the same room with her and her family.
Broski, you are still entirely lost.
Yeah.
You were never not lost. You are constantly lost right now.
Constantly.
Is she still doing scheduled narcotics?
That's
Do
a
you
good
know?
question.
Did the judge know?
That is a good...
Does her family know that she's cheated on you with 7 men without using protection?
We know they don't. And
Tell
also,
them.
That is a great point. She was regularly using and still got 50% custody of the kids.
Yeah. You don't owe her a damn thing.
No.
Brother.
I know it's selfish, but I think I will be physically sick at the sight of her. I don't know what to do. I am sure I will get over it, dude, but I don't know what to do.
Brother, if you get physically sick, just make sure it's on her. Just make sure you direct it at her.
I have tried to talk to my son about it, but he thinks I'm overreacting. What do I do? Does he know?
They need to all know the truth, silly goose man.
If he doesn't know, you need to tell them.
Brother.
Yeah, this is one of those times where like, oh, it's a little secret. No, people need to understand why you're feeling like this.
Yeah.
You don't need to do this so you can make her feel better.
I mean, maybe this is what you need. Maybe you need people to know that it wasn't you who caused all of this. But folks, that's the end of that story, and we've got another one. I do think everyone should know, but I think there is a way to tell them. I think that, you can't talk to your wife anymore, clearly. So maybe have your... I feel like, I don't know. I feel like if 2 of your kids know, I feel like your other kids would know,
Yeah, I feel like
I don't know,
they're
man.
also, OP did say they're a little bit older, they're 2 adults.
Yeah,
2
maybe they
in their
wanted to
teens.
hide it.
But at this point, maybe 2 of them are really close with mom, but even at that point, what's the point,
Who's this for?
At the end of the day, do what's best for you.
Yeah, and keep going to therapy because you clearly need it.
Yeah. And
You
again,
are
OP's one of
lost.
ours. This was one of ours. So it's just like,
Oh, I forgot.
From my perspective, the Jedi are evil.
I forgot it was one of our own. OP.
You did?
I did.
I didn't.
Oh, please get...
Brother, I'm not. The
keep
gloves
going
are
to
not
therapy.
off. The gloves are. When do the
Oh,
gloves
I hate your
come
ex
off?
so much.
When you're mad or when you're glad? Either way, cold water. You've got massive problems to figure out
Yeah.
regarding what happened with you and your ex-wife.
And I guess, if you truly, I'll give you more real advice. If you truly cannot go to this wedding because you will have a panic attack, tell your child that. Say, hey, I understand you might not see it as such, but, I've been going to therapy for this, and I really want to be there for you. But I think that it would cause more of a scene me being there.
Yeah,
You know?
that's
It's
good.
it's not I hate her so much that I just would yell at her. It's like I literally physically can't be in the same room with her without having this physical reaction. And hopefully your kid will understand, but be honest. You know, it's been years. I think that you can give that honesty without it being like negative for the kids. But ouch. Good luck, OP. We love you.
Best of luck, OP.
Good luck.
So we're going to get into this next story.
Oh boy, this one's also from the subreddit.
I hope it's not so sad.
My boyfriend prioritizes his baby mama over me.
Well, he should be your ex-boyfriend.
We had a baby with her.
That's true.
I have been part of the OK fam since before Riley was a part of the show.
Whoa. Long time OK fan.
And I listen every day, and I'm hoping you guys can help me as I really value your thoughts and opinion. Okay, I'm locking in.
Lock in.
He did have a baby with her, though.
We'll see.
My boyfriend and I have been together for 6 years, living together for 5. We are both 41 with one son each from previous relationships. My son is 16, an honor student, starting his first job, always helpful and generally working hard to become a successful adult. His dad barely sees him and has been in and out of prison for the last 11 years since our divorce. Our son doesn't want to be like him. By the way, this comes from user FutureNP and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So my boyfriend's son just turned 12, makes good grades now, and is much more well-behaved than he used to be. In kindergarten, the school only allowed him half days, and he repeated it a second time due to this behavior.
Tons of kids repeat kindergarten. That's all right.
You're like, we can't handle your kid. He's only allowed to be here half the day. Sounds like a
guess
skill
so.
issue with the kindergarten more than a problem with your kid.
They need to figure it out.
I repeated preschool, so
I got nothing funny to say about that.
that one's kind of on me.
I know a
That's
lot.
on me.
I know a lot of guys who repeated kindergarten
wait.
because of behavior issues.
Do I know why you didn't?
Yeah.
Do you want to say?
I just didn't talk. I didn't talk, and my parents thought, like, he's like, oh no, he doesn't know how to talk. And
Yeah, he just wasn't
I
talking.
was just very anxious. I was a very shy kid. I just didn't like talking. All I did was point and go,
You know why? Because the ghosts were too busy talking to you. You
No.
couldn't make your own
That's so
sentences, but you
cute.
don't remember
Yeah.
anymore.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, my
That
mom.
makes me so
all my
sad.
mom was like, you didn't really talk until you were like 4 or 5, and all you did was point at stuff and went, And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Have you never heard this?
No.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
keep going.
Okay, so he couldn't keep his hands to himself at school and during Pee Wee football, constantly getting into trouble for not listening. He was in trouble at school constantly, even pulling the fire alarm once.
Whoa.
Finally, the school pushed his mom to put him on ADHD meds, and he calmed down.
He just had ADHD.
He just needed stimulant medicine.
He just needed to be medicated.
He just needed amphetamines. Yes. Now he is very well behaved, respectful, and makes good grades and helps when asked. The issue with him is that, as a typical 12-year-old boy, he's completely engrossed in electronics. He barely comes out of his room to eat, use the bathroom, or even speak. He's just beeping and booping. He's making beep, boop, bop, zeep, zorp noises.
Honest, I feel like if your child's not coming out of the room because they're playing video games, do we take those video games away?
No, Mom.
I feel like
No,
I'd take
Mom.
away the video games.
They can
I
go
don't
pro.
I don't want my kid to be locked in their room
Also,
playing video
it's
games.
not video games. It's electronics. What if he's building robots, Sophia?
Oh,
You're just
that's
making
kinda
an
cool.
assumption.
Well, he's got to build them outside.
You don't understand boy technology.
I lived with a boy. I live with boys.
Sorry, I couldn't even keep a straight face. That was such a ridiculous thing to say.
You don't understand boy technology. Nah, my kid's gonna be. I'm gonna lock the door, and
You're gonna lock the door.
they're gonna stay outside all day.
You're gonna actually lock the door and play the games in their room and go, "Oh, this is
This
so
is so
fun!" And they're gonna go,
Wow.
"No,
Yeah.
no, please."
My mom just told me to play out. She would give me
Your mom told you to touch
hot
grass.
glue and
Have
glitter,
fun at it.
and I would make little like houses for fairies, and then I would bring all of my littlest pet shops outside, and I would use Jenga blocks, and I would create houses with my friends, and they would all be. It would be great.
Actually,
It was
sounds
great.
really
It was
fun.
lit, man.
I
I was creating houses out of rocks and sticks in the mud.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
That's girl technology?
Yes, girl technology is the Stone Age.
Okay. An unhealthy level of not coming out of the room. Even though we've had talks multiple times about bathing and teeth brushing, he still has to be told every single time, or he never would. I don't believe we should have to tell him each day to brush his teeth, bathe, and put on clean clothes. By the way, he's on stimulant medication, so you kind of do.
It's not just like, I feel like, I will say, because we know that he has ADHD, and he's 12, I think that this is, we actually do have to tell him every day to do those things. And maybe there's ways that we can work around this where we like get him into a habit and we have a routine that is a little bit more normalized. But I do think also because, again, he is ADHD, you can be more likely to kind of get locked into like an obsessive with things like video games. So I think
and the medication can do that too.
Yes, also, yeah.
The medication can not necessarily make you hyper-focus on studying or being a good little boy. It could make you hyper-focus on whatever he's doing in there.
Yeah. I think he probably just needs a lot more attention from you guys than maybe a kid who didn't have his, set of like medical or like ADHD and stuff.
Okay. When I try to enforce consequences, they never get upheld by his dad when I'm not home, which is a lot.
See, that's a problem.
He's not a self-starter. Even though he's smart, a homework assignment that should take 20 minutes will take several hours with one of us adults constantly standing over him and fussing to get it done. He has a mom that is always in his life. There is no legal custody agreement. They share him equally and allow him to go between houses as he wants, which is fine, except his mom lives about an hour away with her parents since they split. This can sometimes cause hardship with transportation and school, but we've made it work. Most of the work falls on my boyfriend and me. He pays her child support every week of his own accord because we believe that's what he should do as a dad. We also pay for 90% of school trips, the yearbook every year, 100% of school supplies, and half the cost of his after-school program. Baby mama even called saying 12-year-old had no clothes at her house because of a growth spurt. We went and bought him new clothes, then bought more and sent them to her house.
Oh, and also, really quick, just for you guys, the characters are not named Dakota and Sophia. We just are doing this new thing where we tell you guys our names for our podcast listeners.
Oh, God, and TLDR's picking up our names?
Yes. Yeah, just to be clear, because someone, I think, earlier asked if the characters were named Dakota and Sophia. They are not. We are Dakota and Sophia.
Their sons are excelling academically is also a horrible TLDR.
Yeah.
Anyway, she claims she couldn't afford new clothes even though she has a job and no bills because her parents pay everything, including her car insurance and cell phone bill, and give her the car that she drives. I grew up in a blended family where the kids weren't treated equally, so I've made it a point to always treat our boys equally. My boyfriend doesn't always do that, but tries his best. He and baby mama have always treated 12-year-old like a small child. Boyfriend is just now starting to treat him like the preteen he is. At baby mama's, he doesn't have his own room and still shares a bed with her because there isn't a room for him and no chance of her moving out since she's helping care for her mom who has cancer.
I mean, I know they haven't done a custody agreement, but I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to provide, like if they went the legal route, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to provide them like a bed.
They did not go the legal route.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like because they went around it, I guess she doesn't have to do that, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure if you are trying to get custody, you have to prove that you have like a bed for your child.
Couch.
Yeah, I mean, your 12-year-old boy shouldn't be sleeping every night with his mom if you have another option.
You can put a tent in the living room with a sleeping bag. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I don't want to say
or
like
you can put it out
obviously
back. Get him
are
outside of that electronics room.
Yeah, there are
and have him sleep in a tent in the backyard.
Yeah, there's circumstances. Okay, where that is okay or not okay, but where it makes sense because you don't have a lot of money or like financial reasons, blah blah blah. But if there is another option, in this case, dad, then he shouldn't be sleeping in the bed with his mom. Yeah, that James Pond says I'm pretty sure it's illegal. I'm pretty sure if they had gone through the legal route, it probably would not have been allowed.
Okay. 12-year-old hates not having his own space and being treated like a 5-year-old, so he recently started spending more time at our house where he has his own room. The kids got out of school last week and are starting back August 11th. For the entire summer, he's been with us except maybe 2 weeks, and boyfriend still pays child support every week. What? I don't know if this is... Okay.
It's because they didn't go the legal route. So he's doing all of these things that he thinks he needs to do, but you don't need to do this.
He's not there.
He's not.
Your kid's not there.
You're not like,
you
why
were
are you
paying
paying
her
child
money when your kid was staying there.
And she's not even using that money to give him a space.
Like you should be just give that money to your girlfriend. Give that money to OP.
Yeah.
Why are you paying your ex? Maybe it's to help take care of her parents?
Yeah.
But like, that's different.
No, OP, I
That's not
honestly
just a
think,
child support payment. That's a different thing.
I think because you're one of our own, go have a conversation with your boyfriend and say, like, normally when you have a custody agreement, which you guys don't have like a formal one, you're supposed to provide your child with a space, a bed. There are a lot of requirements. He doesn't have that as moms. We can provide that here.
Well, I think it's already his prerogative that the kid is the one who decides where he wants to be. So
Yeah.
it's like, if the kid doesn't want to be there,
He doesn't, which is like,
right,
he doesn't.
he can just stay here.
So again, well, but that's further point. If he's not staying there, then you also don't have to pay child support for a child that you're already supporting.
Exactly. His ex is very self-absorbed and hard to deal with, so he hates talking to her because he hates confrontation. It's easier than fighting with her. Recently, baby mama has been in the hospital for about 2 weeks. It started with a fall where she couldn't get up. She is a bigger girl, about 300 pounds, so we thought she couldn't get up because of that. But when they took her to the hospital, she said she was numb from the
Oh.
neck down and couldn't support her weight to stand or walk and was barely able to feed herself.
Oh my God. Did she just paralyze herself?
Well, that's extreme.
Well, now she definitely can't care for the child.
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, don't like,
Well, no, yeah.
yeah.
Accurate. She's 37 and has a few other issues, but nothing that should be causing this. She's been transferred between multiple hospitals because no one can figure out what's going on. When we found out, we knew 12-year-old would be staying with us indefinitely until she's better. Boyfriend and I had a conversation about school since it's about to start. We decided going to the middle school 5 minutes from our house instead of an hour away where her parents live would be the best option since it's our responsibility to care for him, not theirs. She can't care for herself, much less a child. He brought up homeschool during our conversation because she had mentioned it. I reminded him what a nightmare homeschooling was during the pandemic and how bad it is to do normal homework with 12-year-old.
I also think like for him specifically, for what he needs, that would not be helpful. Like for having like a child with ADHD who like, I don't think that would necessarily be helpful.
Agreed.
Unless you can provide like so much care. Like you would have to be on it for everything.
You'd have to like handcuff his hand to your hand so you could grab the pencil and write stuff for him because he's
Just
going to be
these-
so distracted at home.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the amount of effort that you're putting into like telling him to shower, telling him to brush his teeth, you're going to have to do that level for all of his studies. So like be ready if you're going to do that.
I also asked him to consider how we would have time for homeschooling. He works 5 nights a week, midnight to 8 a.m., and sleeps daily from 10 or 11 until 6 or 7. I'm currently in school for my doctor nurse practice to become a nurse practitioner and have both clinical and class and homework, plus my full-time job at the local hospital. I also have a total care disabled brother that lives with us with my mom, and we help care for them. Plus, I have a side hustle as a baker for extra income.
Okay, so you have your mom.
She does it all.
You are caring for your brother. You're caring for a child who has a lot of like needs specifically. That's tough.
Yep. Don't know
A
how
lot
you do
on
it.
you. A lot on you.
And you're baking? How does she do it?
How does she do it?
We don't have time for homeschool, and it's toxic just doing normal homework, so we don't have the patience either. He agreed during our talk and said he would let baby mama know we could transfer him to our nearby middle school when he took 12-year-old to see her at the hospital. When he came home, he was complaining of a stomach ache and went to bed, then got up and went to work without telling me how the conversation went. I assumed he stuck to what we talked about. The next morning, he called me on the way home from work, as he always does. After talking for about 10 minutes with no mention of the hospital trip, I finally asked if he was ever going to tell me what happened. He responded that they had talked about it and would be trying homeschooling. Yeah, did you think that one was just going to fly under the radar, my guy?
So he lied.
Why does it matter what she has to say? She's not taking care of your kid.
Like it really doesn't matter what she has to say. She does not have the funds, nor the time, nor the space to take care of your kid.
She is numb from the neck down.
Or
She is
the
not
function.
homeschooling your kid.
She doesn't have the time, space. What was the third one I said?
Continuum.
Ah, dang it. Function was the fourth one I was gonna add.
Okay. I was angry, hurt, and upset. I asked why after our conversation was that the decision, and he stated she wanted to try it to see if it worked. We argued and got off the phone since I was at work. I have friends who homeschool, so I know more than the average person with no exposure to it, but even with that basic knowledge, I know this isn't what's best for 12-year-old. I've been a nurse for 22 years and have studied childhood development several times. I have an ADN, BSN, MSN, NBC, and I am now working on my DNP. I am currently in my pediatrics rotation. I know that living with us full-time suddenly and not getting to see his mom and grandparents as often, plus his mom being sick and him changing from elementary to middle school are a lot of life changes very fast. This can be traumatic if not handled with care. Add to that his need for structure. I feel like homeschooling will be detrimental.
It will
and
be.
then he'll be behind and struggle in school. Correct, I would assume. I'm no doctor, nurse practitioner. But yeah, it sounds like the child needs to go to school.
I think you sit your partner down and you say, hey, I don't know, like, if you're planning to homeschool him, but I can't do that. Just say, like, I cannot do that. If you were expecting me to do it, I cannot.
Yeah.
And I will not. So you're going to have to do it all because your baby mom's not going to help. So it's going to be on you. Do you have time to do that?
Yep, I hope you enjoy never sleeping again.
Because I'm not doing it.
Either you do it all or we both get arrested for truancy. I spent the day at work thinking about this and did a literal 5-minute Google search to learn more about homeschooling. Then I went home and tried to talk to boyfriend. I started by asking what program would be used to homeschool. Would it be through the mail or online? If online, do they know the state laws? We live in North Carolina and she lives in South Carolina. Some states require online classes and attendance, and who would be buying the computer? I also asked if they knew homeschooling wasn't just sit and do work. You're basically teaching yourself, and it requires trips to co-ops to meet other homeschoolers and do hands-on portions of work. To all these questions, he responded, I don't know.
Come on.
So you're not doing it then?
You guys are doing like these parents are not you, OP, but like your boyfriend is doing such a disservice to his son. And it's really upsetting. This kid is not getting the help that he needs.
True. So I asked what he and baby mama talked about then, and he responded, I don't know what you want from me. I want the kid to go to school.
She's told you what she wants from you.
You know exactly what I want from you. I want you to say, we're going to send the kid to school.
Pretty straightforward, pretty
to the
cut
middle
and dry.
school, 5 minutes away.
Pretty cut and dry.
Ugh. I said I expected that you went to talk to her and come home with a plan. I'm willing to try anything if there's a good plan in place. I told him that since he wouldn't tell me about the conversation, all I could do was go on my assumptions. To me, it appeared as if he completely forgot about our conversation when with her and just rolled over and agreed to do what she wants. The only reason she wants to homeschool is to try to keep 12-year-old from living with us. He's told us he has to go ask if he can come to our house, like asking to go to a friend's, and if she says no, then he can't come. We argued and I yelled, which I know isn't right, but when he asked me not to yell, I quit and tried to more calmly explain. I said if we took all other issues out, like her choice, my choice, and even what's best for the 12-year-old, I just didn't understand the logistics of how it would work. I told him why not put him in public school, and when we found out more about what her health future looks like, then consider homeschool. That way, at least, he wouldn't get behind. He shot this down.
This would be so incredibly frustrating for me. Like, I'm so sorry, OP, that you have to deal with this. Because, I mean, you are the only one who apparently cares about this kid's future, but you don't even get, like, the main say because you're not his parent, even though you're the one parenting the most. So frustrating.
Yes. Very
I would have a
frustrating.
completely different view on my partner, personally, after this whole fiasco.
I would. By the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. Wherever you listen to stories, just type OK Storytime into that search bar. You can listen to over 70 days worth of stories. We have a little bit left here. Let's finish it off. I feel like he's putting her opinion above mine when it's our family that it will 100% affect. She's in the hospital for who knows how long and can't do any of the legwork for her homeschool. Other than putting her first, just so he doesn't have to have a confrontation, he really is the best partner and does so much to help me. Without him, I couldn't do all the things I do for school and work, which I do for our family's future. But I don't think he considers our future. This has really put a strain on our relationship. Since it happened a couple days ago, we haven't really spoken much or even touched each other. I'm hurt and constantly feel like vomiting or crying, which I have been doing a lot of. What do I do? Am I the a-hole and making this a bigger issue than it is? I don't want to end the relationship. I think you need to be like, why are we letting her his mother is not a parent to him.
Yeah.
And is incapable of doing the things that she's suggesting you to do. So you're basically just saying what? That I have to stop doing it's just not going to work. There's a solution that works and there's a solution that doesn't. Homeschooling's not going to work.
I think that I know you've already done it. Like, you've done everything that we've suggested, honestly. But I think because you had the thing of, like, feeling like you needed to yell, which I get because this is so frustrating. But I think you write down all of your points. You say, one, your son's mom is not able to, she's not physically able to take care of him. She doesn't have the space, so, he needs to be here. I'm not going to have the time to homeschool him. These are the steps and things that, just write it all out. These are what you need to fulfill if you homeschool your child. Can you do these? Do you have the time to do these? Do you have the, wherewithal, the know-how, etc. to figure all this out? And if you think that you can do it, fine. That's your kid. But I'm not going to be helping you homeschool your child when I don't think it's the right solution.
Yes.
And just have that all written out so you don't even have to go to the anger. And at that point, if he does try and put it on you, then I would reconsider the relationship. It's frustrating though. Very frustrating.
Yeah, I would also, there's a
Yeah.
lot of comments saying, it's time for a formal custody agreement.
Agreed. Yeah, maybe that's the thing to approach it with. It's hey, I know you guys didn't want to do a formal custody agreement, but this is just not working for your kid. Bring that up. But
100%.
and also bring up your child sleeping in the bed with his mom at 12 years old is not benefiting him. But that is the end of that story. I refuse to have my father back in my life.
Maybe you should give him a chance.
My biological father, 44 male, who left me when I, 18 male, was young, wants to have a relationship with me again. I don't think he's being genuine and wants something else. Should I agree to meet him again? By the way, this comes from Throwaway 1932-14-89-8. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, my father, who I haven't even heard from since I was about 8, just showed up to my front door 2 days ago and said he wanted to meet me. I haven't had any contact with this man for the past decade, and he just barges into my life again and expects me to go along with this BS.
It's a direct approach.
Dang, 10 years and then you just show up and say, hey kid, I'm your dad.
Hi, I'm your dad.
I'm not into this. My mom passed away when I was a baby, so I never even knew her, and I guess it sort of broke my dad. He was in my life so little, even when he was around, I don't have any concrete memories of him. Just flashbacks every now and then. This would be a really good movie.
Yeah.
Opie's just getting flashes of his dad throwing the ball,
Throwing the ball.
the old pigskin.
They're swimming, out camping, little
Yeah.
hike.
Yeah, and then he gets really, really brief flashes of his mom, and then he's like, what could my life have been? But now he's a big-time lawyer. He doesn't need
Whoa.
his dad.
Holy cow.
Mhm.
I didn't see that coming.
He would leave me alone with whatever new girlfriend he managed to get and go gamble whatever he made from his odd jobs.
Nice.
I knew how to cook and clean well enough to sustain myself by the time I was 7, and I guess he saw that as a reason to be there even less. That's crazy.
It's crazy that you're that independent at such a young age. Good job for you.
No.
Oh.
No.
This-
You
I
should
didn't
not
see
be
anything
left
wrong
alone
here.
at 7. That's crazy. We lived in a really run-down area, and it was a pain trying to go to and from school every day while avoiding the type of people who lived there. He never hit me or anything, but when I was 8, he stopped coming around entirely.
Yeah, because by that time, I think you were driving yourself to school.
Yeah, he
so-
was like, you're good. You're independent now, son. I'm going to teach you how to do your taxes, and then I'm going to go.
Have a good life.
I was used to him going for weeks or even months at a time, but this time he just never came back.
Was anybody with you?
Were you just alone?
Sounded like the mom was there, but
The mom's passed away. She passed away when he was a baby.
Who's there?
You just like knock-knock jokes.
well, by the time he's 8, he's basically a full functioning adult. I don't think he really needs anything. There
He's
has been a
fine
story
now.
where this kid, I think, lives somewhere, and he was going to school, went there and back, cooked himself meals, and his mom was having an affair with some other dude, and he's like, yeah, I'm fine, I got everything figured out. Kids are self-sufficient. We're just not giving them that responsibility.
We should be putting them in the mines. They can get a job. That's when it got really bad for me. Whatever savings I had weren't enough to last me longer than a few months. I had to live off of whatever my friends got me at school or go to the local soup kitchen. Is this kid alone in the house at 7 years old?
Well, at the
Well, he's
age
8
of
now. I'm sorry.
8.
He's 8.
Come
yeah,
on now.
Yeah. He's not a
8 and a
child.
half.
He's 8. I'm 8 3/4.
He probably is, but
Oh
to
my
him,
gosh.
I think the great thing about kids, though, this isn't the best scenario, but the great thing about kids is if you put them in an
worst scenario.
environment and they have to survive in it, they'll live up to it. And this kid probably thinks it's normal. I didn't know what CPS was whenever I was little. He probably doesn't think he needs anyone.
Well, yeah, he doesn't know who he's supposed to contact.
Yeah, and his like his
Dang.
mom's not there, his dad's not there. He's like, okay, this is how I live my life.
Well, yeah, he's trying to figure it out, but where
Where is McQueen?
Yeah.
is
Also,
anyone?
where are you living? How are you?
That's
how are your
what I'm
bills getting
saying.
paid?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Yeah, maybe this kid can figure out how to make like soup.
He might have a 9 to 5.
Yeah, he's
I'm not
like,
gonna
I
put it
work
past him.
after school. I was there so often, they started to reserve a plate for me every night. I didn't have heat or water and had to hide when the landlord came around for rent. I think after a while, he just gave up and stopped bothering me. This landlord is also a problem. Someone has got to figure out that this kid is just there.
Hey, landlord, there's a little orphan in there that
Oh,
should.
we can let him live there. He's not bothering anyone. Landlord, maybe you should like call someone like Child Protective Services or anyone. Oh no, he knows how to play the guitar. Sometimes he plays for me at night. Oh, we can let him stay. I actually have issues remembering this time in my life because, yeah, you are traumatized. There are these massive gaps in my memory. I would just go blank out for days at a time, and then it would go back to normal.
This is PTSD.
Oh, I thought it was just a feral state where you're just surviving.
Yes, that's called trauma. I never told anyone because I thought that they would take me away and my dad wouldn't know where I was when he came back. I would never let your father come within 2 million feet of me. I want you to stay on a different planet. Stay far away.
Where is 2 million feet away from me? Un momento.
Pause.
So it's like from here to Flagstaff.
Okay,
The
you
Grand
can be in
Canyon.
Arizona.
Yeah. Just
Sir,
look-
you can
yeah.
be in Arizona, and that's it.
So it has to be the length from
From here to Arizona.
LA to the Grand Canyon. It has to
Yeah.
be 379 miles away or 610 kilometers for
And
all my
ideally,
other
you
friends.
be at the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
Yep. That's about 7 miles down.
By the time I was 10, I was on the verge of being homeless and was starting to get desperate enough to approach the teachers at my school when this guy who knew my dad showed up. Apparently, they knew each other from the army and my dad was still alive. Who cares? Get this kid into any sort of anything.
Okay, you are homeless.
Yes. That's the
You
thing. He's
are-
like, I was on the verge of... You are in a house, sure.
But there's no heat or water.
There's no heat, water. I don't know how you're getting fed.
No
I guess he's
Wi-Fi.
going, there's no, I mean, like, what?
No Wi-Fi, dude. I was
How
supposed to
are
play
you
video
getting to
games.
school? Are you walking to school?
He's driving.
He's got his own truck. Where'd you get the gas? He's got a bike. Oh, this
Smart
is
kid.
terrible.
I'm really impressed with this kid. This is terrible, but I'm like, wow.
I'm impressed, but also this is terrible. He sent a message to this guy from God knows where about me, and he showed up to my place. I was very hesitant to go along with this strange man who I never met before, but I was really desperate at this point. I remember that the man looked disgusted with my place, and I actually got offended with that. He introduced himself to me and said that my dad had remembered me for once. It's been 2 years. Actually, 3 if he left at 7.
Yeah, I called an angel to help you out. You're welcome.
Sorry, hey, call this guy. He'll be over.
Just got one more gamble.
Yeah. Oh, I had a really sad thought. He's like, I had nothing left to gamble. So now you'll be living and working for this guy. He needs help on the field. You'll be picking green beans and working on the sawmill.
Wait.
Riley, I
Wait a
didn't know what to tell
minute.
you. For me, it was take my chances with this guy or be homeless, so I chose to go with him. I literally want your father to be in jail. He told me to call him James, and it made sense since he was definitely not old enough for me to call him Dad. He was a weird guy, but he did mean well. Apparently, he was a problem child like me, and his parents sent him to the army to straighten him out. He met my dad there, and my dad took care of him since he had just turned 18, and my dad had been there for a few years. He said that the army changed my dad from the guy he knew. I don't really care. OP's 10 years old, hasn't seen his dad in 3 years, and this guy's like, yeah, your dad and I were army buddies, and he really helped me. OP's like, I've been living in this house alone for 3 years.
Cool. This is cool. This is like
Yeah.
in a video game, you're trying to get through the cutscene, but it won't let you.
Skip. He had me after he came back. If he was really so effed up, he never should have had kids. James managed to get custody of me, and I went to live with him. He was pretty well off, so it was a massive shock and lifestyle changes. I'll admit I was a brat during the first year or so. Give yourself some grace. You were living alone as a child for 3 years. Also, he said he was still going to school. Your school should also be arrested. I'm sorry, your teachers couldn't figure out that presumably you weren't washing yourself because your water wasn't on. And your teachers couldn't figure out that you were living in a house by yourself or that something was wrong. Literally every adult that was around you at this point in your life should be in jail. I was terrified of losing all of this that I acted out both at home and at the new private school I went to. I didn't fit in with the rich kids there and was singled out because of it. I got into fights constantly, and if it weren't for James, I would have been punted out. I didn't believe he was going to stay and thought he would leave me just like my dad did, but he didn't. He confessed that he always wanted kids, but that the only person he wanted them with ended up leaving him. He wouldn't be able to have biological kids with another person. And so when he found out about me, it felt like he was given another chance. He was really patient with me the entire time and always sided with me no matter what I did. I got the sense that he was lonely like me, and he got how I felt. In my mind, he's my actual dad. I mean, yeah.
Checks out.
Don't have another one. He's the one who paid for my education, food, clothes, went to all my baseball games, bought me anything I asked for. He's the one who stayed with me when I got my wisdom teeth pulled out or whenever I was sick. He's the one who celebrated all my birthdays with me and would take me out to my favorite restaurant whenever I got good grades or won a game. He's the one who went shopping with me for my new bedroom in his house and told me to get whatever I wanted. He's the one who got me my first phone and car. He's the one who came to my high school graduation and college acceptance ceremony.
Dang, this
Yeah,
guy
this is
really
your
just
dad.
picked you up.
He literally, I'm sorry, your dad was just like, oh yeah, I think I got like a kid at home. And he said, sorry, you got a kid at home? He's like, yeah, I forgot about him.
I forgot about that though.
Did you go pick
Could
him
you
up?
go pick him up?
He rides around 85 Ford, so
Yeah,
you
you'll
might
find
find
him. Sometimes he hangs out behind the little soda shop. Asking
He likes
for
those little
nickels.
candies.
He was the one to comfort me and fly me back home after I got into a really bad fight with my boyfriend. He's my dad, even if we aren't related by blood.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, if anyone is your dad, it's this man. I went back home for the holidays and was lounging on the sofa waiting for a food delivery when there was a knock on the door. I thought it was what we ordered for dinner, and I went to pay the delivery man. When I opened the door, there was a guy in his mid-40s. I didn't see any food package and thought that he was here for something else. He asked if this was where James lived, and I said yes. He then asked my name. I told him, and he tried to hug me. I pushed him away and demanded to know who the heck he was. He just chuckled and said he was my dad and to let him in. And that's when I sock him in the face and shut the door and call the police and say this man abandoned me at 7 years old.
And that's when I do what in the song a boy named Sue did and
Mhm.
actually go through what Sue couldn't do.
Yeah, great song. I froze because I couldn't effing comprehend what was happening. I shut the door in his face and called James. He was out on work, and when I told him who was there, he told me to close all the blinds and lock the doors. Yes, James.
Oh, wow.
Love you,
Interesting.
James.
This person definitely wants money from you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, why else? Like, he finds out that you're living with James, who we know is well off, and now he's come around to say, oh, I'm your dad. He then told me he would be back in a couple of minutes and to stay in my room and not to leave, even if I heard noises outside. The Creed edit just starts playing. Creed! And then, yeah, that was funny. You're not
That was funny.
laughing.
That was
Thank
funny.
you.
No, I actually have that downloaded on my phone, and before every basketball game,
Yeah,
I
you
play
played
it.
the Creed edit. Oh, it's so good.
It is, and other people try to do it, but the sound effects just don't hit.
They can't. I was getting pretty nervous, but did as he said. The man was still outside the door and was banging on it at this point. I hid in my room and was fully ready to call the police. After a few minutes, I saw James's car pull into the driveway, and he got out to yell at my biological father. They disappeared from my line of view, but I could still hear them. It got pretty heated when James told my dad to leave if he didn't want to go back to prison again. After a few minutes, James came to my room and asked if we could talk. I let him in and demanded to know what was going on. He looked tired and sat down on my bed and told me that my biological father wanted to have a relationship with me again. I couldn't believe what I was hearing and asked if he was joking. He said that he wasn't, and that he hated the idea of that as much as I did. He has no idea what my dad has been doing for the past decade before he punted him out. He asked me my thoughts on it. I could barely comprehend what was happening and told him I needed time. He agreed and told me that no matter my decision, he would support me. But he also said he doesn't believe my dad is purely back to reconnect. Duh. I agreed with that. He hugged me and left me to figure out my thoughts. So this is where I'm left.
Gosh,
I haven't
dude.
felt like this since I was 8 and waited at the front door of my old apartment for my dad to come back the whole night. This story is so sad.
This is really sad.
This story is so like, wow. I hope you're in therapy.
I hope so too, and I hope that your dad, if he does want to reconnect with you, won every single, gamble thing that he went through, and has all that money to give you.
I hope
And
he
that's the
just gives you a
only
bunch of
thing-
money and then leaves.
Yeah, and then leaves. That's the only
Yeah.
thing you can do to make this right.
Every horrible feeling has sprung up again, and I'm not sure if I want to hurt him or myself more. I want to find him and the old one to him and demand an answer on why he left me, on why I wasn't good enough for him to stay. It's not about you, OP.
Yeah.
It's not about you. Your dad is a horrible human being, and he has his own issues.
Nah, he's just waiting for that one to hit.
He's just waiting for a big win.
Jackpot.
It's been a couple of days since, and I still haven't given an answer. James hasn't pushed the subject either. My dad hasn't shown up again, but I think James knows how to contact him if needed. I haven't been in such a bad place since I was younger and don't know what to do anymore. I feel everything is pointless and that no matter what I choose, I'll regret it. I don't even know what he's been doing for the past 10 years, and I'm scared of getting attached just for him to leave again. I've been sleeping less, eating less, and have been getting constant nightmares from when I was a kid.
Nightmare, 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 nightmare.
It's gotten to the point that James told me to take a few weeks off of school to recuperate. I look like a zombie, and my boyfriend actually wants to fly over to my state to help me through this. I don't know what the F to do, and I'm so effing scared. Should I let him back in and take a risk, or never speak to him again and continue on with my life? I want answers so bad, but I don't know if I'll like the ones I get. What should I do? And there is an update. Normally we have stories like this where a parent comes back to reconnect, and I'm like, if you want to hear him out, you can. I don't think you should do that.
No.
This man is crazy and should be in jail for abandonment.
Because the sentiment of other people that come back, they're apologetic.
Yeah.
They have something to offer. This guy seems like he deserves it.
Yeah.
He demands it from you, and he's probably looking for other things.
Absolutely.
And even if you wanted to reconnect, like what kind of relationship is there to salvage?
Yeah. Nothing. Literally nothing. I don't even know how it would be possible for you to reconnect with a man who left an 8-year-old child alone in a house for 2 years. Would have been longer had James not come in. So
I hooked you up with
yeah.
James. Come
Yeah.
on, now, give me some
You're
money.
welcome. No.
Yeah, there's no relationship here. There's nothing here for you. This guy's gonna, even if you do have a relationship with him, he's gonna manipulate you.
Yeah.
Still, he's gonna abandon you. He's still gonna go into. There's no change in his life. So I think if there was some sort of change in his life, then maybe. But there's no hint of that at all.
I also just think OP wants. OP said he wants answers.
I want answers.
Which is why, seemingly the only reason why he wants to meet up with his dad. But I
Yeah.
don't think that you're gonna get any answers that you actually are actually helpful. It'll probably be like, I couldn't take care of a kid, and I was in a rough place in life, and I needed to gamble.
I think that might be good to get answers because there is a chapter in his life
yeah,
that is still coming up.
and it has a lot of blanks.
Has a lot of blanks, he gets nightmares from it. This might help him close that chapter of his life, or kind of put a seal on it in some way, shape, or form, which might help. And if that's what you need to get through this, definitely go for it with caution.
I worry that any conversation will be very triggering for
Mhm.
OP. I'm like, maybe James tells your dad that he has to write a letter
I was thinking letter
why
as well.
he did that, so you don't have to actually face him.
Yeah, I agree.
Or
And
you
you have,
knock him out. I don't know.
yeah, OP, you have all the cards in your hand.
Yeah.
He has maybe one.
And he's losing. Update. First of all, he showed up wasted to the coffee shop we agreed to meet at. Oh, gosh.
Goodness.
Like full on stumbling, slurring his words, about to pass out wasted. The only reason why we weren't punted out is because I'm friends with the owner of the shop and they gave us a secluded booth. I had to help him sit down and had to order his coffee for him. I got flashbacks from when I was younger and had to help him back to his bed or the couch after he came back in the middle of the night, having gambled and wasted all our money away. He was barely coherent and kept on talking about some random butt crap I couldn't even decipher. I considered just leaving him there, but decided that if this is the last time we meet, I'm going to get answers. About half an hour and 5 cups of coffee, he sobered up enough to have coherent thoughts and asked how I was doing. I couldn't even believe he was asking me that. I just ignored that and demanded to know what the heck he's been up to the past decade and why he never came back. He went on tangents and side stories, but managed to explain everything I wanted to know. I was right. I hated the answers I got. It would have been easier to just continue blaming him my entire life, but what actually happened has effed me over so hard.
Oh no, are we about to get a twist here?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just going to be like sad sob story.
Oh, sad sob story. I thought it was Queen of England asked me to come gamble for her.
And then she locked me in the Tower of London, and I've been trying to get back to you ever since.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Mm-hmm. He started with his childhood, and I guess that's a decent beginning on why he's so messed up. It was crappy, apparently. He didn't have anyone, and the moment he turned 18, he joined the army to get away from them. There, he had a purpose, people to look out for. He said that they were his real family, and he would have protected them with his life. James was one of them. He described the moment he first saw James, pompous and arrogant because of his family's money, and knew that he wouldn't be able to survive there without help. He took James under his wing and helped make him into the man he is today. But you couldn't do that with your own son?
Because his son wasn't in the army yet. He was too young.
I guess so. He was honorably discharged after a few years and was given an opportunity to start a new life. He was working at a gym when he met my mother. She was yelling at some guy for trying to get handsy with her, and when it started to get physical, my dad was about to step in when she knocked him out clean. She didn't get in trouble because the cops said it was self-defense. She later asked my dad why he didn't step in earlier, and he said it looked like she had it handled. She asked how he knew, and he told her that the other guy was sloppy. And while she was way smaller than him, her stance and movements told him that she could punt his butt. She asked him out right after, and according to him, the best years of his life followed. She understood him and gave him reason to believe that not everyone was a crappy person. They moved in together into her place at the 5-month mark, and 6 months later, found out she was pregnant. They had a shotgun wedding since neither had family they were close to, and just a few friends they trusted. I was easy enough for my mom during the pregnancy and labor, but not after, apparently. She developed postpartum depression and was overwhelmed with me. My dad helped her as much as he could, but also had to go to work to continue paying the bills and for her medication. He tried to get her to see someone, but she refused due to the cost. When I was about 7 months old, she passed away.
Oh my gosh.
This story is so tragic.
This is definitely in
This
some
is a movie.
rom-com. This is a movie.
This is a movie.
Do you think someone just pulled the movie from somewhere?
I think so. Because this is like too sad, but also cinematic of a plot. I so sad.
Like, how can you sober up and say all that?
Yeah. When my dad got home and found her, he immediately blamed me.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Oh, OP is 7. Oh, probably
7 months.
Probably much. Yeah, 7 months. It wasn't logical, but in his mind, I had taken away the one person he truly loved with all his heart by simply being born. When he explained it to me and told me how it happened because of me, I understood.
I understand it now.
I got that if she had never had me, both of them would have been living their best lives right now.
Well, you didn't really have anything to do with that.
You were a baby. They made a choice. And then, she also made a choice. I mean, she was going through a lot, but also made a choice not to get help. And then your dad made the choice to be a terrible person and be a terrible father. Also, I cannot imagine that relationship would have been good in the long term if this is how he reacted.
And I don't think it was actually probably good in the short term either.
No.
Because, I don't know.
Sorry, he said, it looked like you had it handled, so I didn't step in.
Also, it sounds good and sweet, but if we looked at it underneath the layers, it probably wasn't.
No, everything about that seemed pretty quick. I can't blame him for wanting to do nothing with me afterwards.
I can.
A lot of my anger dissipated after he told me that I looked exactly like her and that every time he looked at me, it was a reminder of her. And instead of being like, wow, I get this beautiful reminder of my wife who I love so much, he turned that into a horrible thing.
Yeah, it is weird that he didn't take her to the hospital, even though it costs a lot of money. Because wouldn't you, I don't know.
I don't know.
If that was my wife and kid, I'd pay whatever amount, even if I was in debt for the rest of my life, to have her life, you know?
After that, he moved to a shadier part of town with me and gave the local kids scraps and change in order to take care of me while he went out. They kept me alive long enough until I was 2, and he got whatever woman he was seeing to look after me. That went on until I was 7, and he thought I was old enough to take care of myself. I wasn't. No, you weren't. And told him as much, but he just shrugged me off and responded with, "You didn't pass away or anything. As long as you were in one piece, it was fine." I hate this man. I really wanted to the old one to him and got to the point on where he was the past 10 years and why he came back now. Apparently he did some stints in prison and was either passing out in alleyways or managed to hook up with a woman and stay at her place for a few weeks before she punted him out. He was traveling when he found an old picture he had of me and my mom when I was born. That's when he called James and told him about me. He then tried to rob some rich family's house and got put away for 15 years. He got out on parole and thought it would be a good idea to try and meet me again. By the way, it's a good idea to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. That was just a truly tragic story.
Is that it?
There's more. Well, there's a little bit left.
Oh my gosh.
OP talk to your dad, your real dad, and say, hey, I need therapy because whoever this guy is showed up and ruined everything.
And a screenwriter.
Yes. Yeah. Hire a screenwriter because you're about to make a lot of money, buddy. But truly, I think OP really needs someone to tell him that there is no excuse for what his dad did. Because I feel like he's like, oh, well, my anger dissipated because my dad had this really hard life and I look like my mom. No.
None of this is your fault.
No. None of it is your fault. You were a baby who looked like his mother because that's how genetics work. And your dad just completely neglected you and then abandoned you.
Yeah, that's wild. I'm so glad James came around, though.
So
and gave
glad.
Just unconditional love no matter what you went
my
through.
goodness.
He understood and he took care of you.
Yeah.
And that's your real dad. This other
That
guy
is your real dad.
was just the
Sperm donor.
the product manufacturer. Okay, he had a little piece into it, and then he didn't even do a good job at
And then he
that
dipped.
part.
Nope.
So just you got your real dad. You know who your real dad is.
You've got your answers. I think kick this man out of your life forever and absolutely go to therapy
and write this.
Make
a movie out of it, please.
I think in the therapy process you can write it all down.
There you go. Oh, get a therapist that's also a screenwriter.
It's perfect.
Or had a minor in film or something.
Yeah. I asked why, and he said he didn't need a reason to want to meet his kid. I told him he lost the right to call me his kid after everything that happened, and he told me to cut him some slack. No, I'm cutting you out of my life.
I give you slack for a year. Okay, that's it. You got 6 more years. Nope.
Yep. That is crappy childhood and losing his wife because of me messed him up and he wasn't thinking straight. I'm sorry. Why does he keep saying, because of you?
Sounds like he still believes it was
because
of you.
Yeah. In which case, bye.
Bye.
He's still blaming you for your birth? I'm sorry. I thought he and his, at the time, wife made a decision to have a baby.
And then had another decision not to go to the doctor.
I don't think OP decided to be born. Yeah.
No.
Absolutely. Yeah. Didn't decide to go to the doctor.
Yeah, there was actually a survey that people did interviewing babies to see hey, how did you have the intention of being born? They're like, no.
They all said no.
100% of them said no.
They said, I'm gonna be honest. I'll tell you right now.
What would you like to say?
Send me back.
But he was back and wanted to reconnect again. I didn't know how to get out of this, and I tried to be calm and told him that I understood what he was trying to say and that I'd be in contact about where this could go. Nowhere. Please. He agreed and gave me a hug, and I just wanted to get it over with and let him. Ugh. I don't know why, but I started to panic and started shaking during it, and after he let me go, I threw up in the bathroom. and basically had a nervous breakdown in my car. You're having a trauma response. You have PTSD. Please go to therapy. I managed to drive home and slept the entire rest of the day and half of the next. I only came to when James told me my boyfriend was here to check on me. This was a day ago, and I'm typing this while my boyfriend is sleeping next to me. I got the answers I had been waiting my whole life for, but they messed me up even more. I still don't know what to do and feel like everything is crumbling. My biological father still wants to have a relationship, and I'm doubting my whole stance on this being a one-time thing. And folks, that is the end of that story. Literally never see this man ever again.
You have the cards in your hand to answer and not to ever see him again.
Literally never is like, usually in different situations, I say, oh, like it's up to you. This is whatever you need. I know, I'm telling you what you need. You need to never see this man again. Cut him off forever.
Yep.
And go to therapy.
And then give him an address to another rich house with good security. Say, hey, I saw that they had some nice watches there.
Yeah, and then just get him out of your life. Or even just tell the police that he abandoned you. I don't know.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know how that works. I don't know if you can get arrested for previous child neglect, but I'm so sorry, OP, you went through that, and I really want you to get the help that you need and just rely on the support system you have with your boyfriend and James, because these are the people in your life that are at your actual family, and whoever that guy that showed up at your door 10 years later is not your family.
Look up the definition of deadbeat dad.
Yeah, that's him.
That's what that is.
There's a picture of him. But folks, that's the end of that story. So we're going to get into the next one. My boyfriend and I are in a toxic cycle, and it just won't end.
Oh no. Toxicity is bad.
Toxicity? No. My boyfriend and I have been together for 7.5 years.
Too long. Break up.
We've been living together with his family for about 7 years. We have had plenty of issues, some worse than others, but at the end of everything, we always choose to continue working on things. By the way, this comes from Metal Glow, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. To give a little backstory, I had quite a bit of debt that initially started small and then got out of control. This debt was something I have been working to pay off for the last 5 to 6 years. This has been a major point of contention in our relationship and the main contributing factor as to why we still live with his family, his mom and dad, his sister, 23 female, and her boyfriend, 26 male. He and I have always talked about owning a home rather than renting, as he's always been strongly against renting. Why pay someone else for a place when you can pay towards your own home?
I mean, yeah, great idea, but not when you're in $1 billion of debt.
I completely understand his logic with that. With that being said, my spending habits and lack of effort towards paying my debt for a few years have always been one of his issues with our relationship, but definitely not the only issue we have. I'm now working a job where I make quite a bit more than I have in the past, and so this debt has been paid off pretty recently. About a month ago. We discussed in the months leading up to the payoff and around the time of that now that it's paid, it's time to start saving towards a down payment on our house. Our timeline discussed was that we were hoping to buy in June, as we think we can have enough for a down payment saved. Like I mentioned though, money is not our only issue. We fight about spicy sleep. We fight about each other's attitudes, and we find
like this is not like the best relationship, y'all. I don't
fight about stupid little things. Two things. One, I think that money problems can often make all of the other little problems feel a lot worse because you're worrying about something always. And two, I think if you're cooking and the food keeps turning out bad, sometimes it's just the recipe, you know?
What was that yawn?
I was trying to hold it in. It didn't work.
Yeah.
I just made a really great...
No, that was, bad recipe.
Often, to be fair, we have significantly improved from what we were when we first got together when we were 18 and were just kids that didn't know what we were doing at first. Or at the very least, I felt like I didn't know what I was doing, as he is my first and only serious relationship.
Get out of it.
That's the ticket.
7.5 years?
That's the ticket. You have no other examples of what a healthy relationship could be like.
This must be what it's like. No.
Oh, I have to stay together.
Regardless of that, we are stuck in a 3 to 6 month cycle of fight, make up, repeat. Every few months, we end up having a huge blowout fight about one or multiple of main issues. We end up having long conversations where we're both crying and promising to work on things. We make up, things may change for a little while, and then it ends up slowly but surely back to how we were. In the in-between months, we bicker over little things and argue about bigger things until it all builds up again. So you guys are earthquakes in LA. Next thing you know, we're back to crying and promising to work on things again. Last Tuesday, we got into a fight that really just changed my perspective a bit on the relationship.
How about all the other fights for the last 7 years?
And I really don't know what to do. Break up.
Can you like?
I know what to do.
Can relationships ever be easy?
No, that's why people can't do them all. I
Well,
mean,
but,
not
like-
everyone can do it. Sorry, that's what I was trying to say.
That's sad.
But I've been in a relationship with Christian for like what, like since kindergarten.
But it's
Can
not
it be like
necessarily
that?
easy. I mean, like I
It's
like
easy-ish.
friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah, friendships still require
Friendships,
work. And
friendships are
maintenance and
easier than
stuff.
a relationship.
That's true.
But they won't leave. Like they don't just break up.
Yeah,
I mean, you can have a friendship breakup, but like
but it's
It usually
more
takes a
like
lot
they just
more.
yeah, they like yeah. I know. Ugh.
what the fight was about was nothing significant at all, but the words he said to me have stuck with me and I can't stop thinking about them. To give the gist, I asked him to go do something that he has been asking to do for months, spontaneously on my day off, about 10 to 15 minutes within him waking up. The activity in his eye was meant to be just us and our niece and nephew, but my sister-in-law, 29 female, wanted to be there too. We have had plenty of issues with her that I won't get into, but I prefer to keep peace as much as possible. The fight started when I told him she'd be with us, and he sighed and said, honestly, I don't want to see your stupid face in today.
Dude, he sounds
stupid
terrible.
effing face in.
Yeah, he's throwing an
Stupid
effing.
effing face today. Understandable given our history with her, but I just responded with, yeah, but she's not that bad in person, which is not a lie. She actually is more tolerable in person. And he has even said that before. He responded with, yeah, but I really just don't want to see your stupid effing face today.
What is this relationship?
I hate this guy. He sounds less tolerable in person.
Yeah.
That's when I got frustrated because, again, he has been asking to do this for months. So I tossed my phone on my desk, said, with a little bit of an attitude, I can admit, okay, whatever. That's when he said, really? Why do you have to have an effing attitude about it? I turned around to look at him and said his name in an exasperated tone because I was not trying to fight that day and was going to continue to explain to him why I was frustrated. He cut me off immediately after I said his name and said in a derogatory tone, oh, and now you're going to whine at me about it? That's when I saw red. I said, really? Are you effing kidding me right now? Do you hear the way you're effing talking to me right now? To which he proceeded to cut me off and say, oh, now you're witching at me now? What the F? I felt backed into a corner. I felt unable to defend myself. I felt like no matter what I would say or how I would say it could do anything to help because he just shut me down completely in a way he hasn't done before. There's no way that he hasn't. I feel like he must have. Or maybe he has, but just not to this extreme.
I don't know, dude.
yeah.
It sounds like they're pretty good at arguing with each other.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like a.
It sounds practiced.
It sounds like
oh,
it sounds
now
like
you're
rehearsed.
effing whining at me.
Yeah.
And she says, oh, you're going to take that tone with me. It's a
Yeah.
back and forth.
Ugh.
It's a play, and they know
They
it by
play
heart.
it well.
A comedy and then a tragedy.
It's a comedy of errors, perhaps.
Oh, I hate it.
I have felt backed into a corner in numerous arguments with him, but this time really had me thinking about us.
I just remembered a very sad, tragic tale.
Oh, what is it?
I remember when a young Samuel Donner, he wanted to join the cool kids, but instead of labeling you as one of the cool kids,
They called me Salad Boy because I ate nothing but salads. Could not trade my lunch for a lunch. Really anything.
You know what community will always welcome you with open arms, Sam?
And make you feel like a cool kid?
The great people who have OK Storytime memberships.
Oh, I heard that 60 plus hours of members only content Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
You heard right, Sam, and it's only $5 a month.
So go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join. Now back to the story.
Chomp, chomp.
We were angry and argumentative with each other until he left to go to work for a while. I ended up taking a nap and crying myself to sleep because I was really second guessing everything. It's not like we have
Third guess it and
Third
fourth
guess.
guess it. And maybe stop guessing and just make a decision.
and leave.
Please leave.
It's not like we haven't fought something like this before, but this really struck something in me. I woke up around 2 hours later to him calling me and acting like nothing happened. He asked me if I wanted to come visit him and get lunch, but I obviously said no and told him why. I was still upset. We then did not talk for the rest of the day, even when he got home, until halfway through the next day. I went to work on Wednesday and was a mess at work, crying off and on over everything. When I got home that night, I didn't feel ready to talk about anything, so I didn't push for it. He, on the other hand, acted as though nothing had happened at all. Tried to cuddle me, kiss me, be cutesy. Well, I just gave short responses and didn't really feed into his affection. 2 times, I made passive-aggressive statements that referred to our argument and how I wasn't over it, which is also a problem because you're making passive-aggressive statements instead of talking about it. Instead of saying, hey, this isn't working how we're doing it. He managed to turn both of those times into a joke of some sort, not in a condescending way, more of a, oh crap, I don't want to talk about this. Try to deflect and steer the conversation away. Distract. You both sound incredibly immature because this relationship started when you were immature, when you were 18.
I mean,
and
I
you
feel like they're
haven't
still immature.
And I think the problem is that they're both learning how to be in a relationship from each other.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to do it.
Yeah. This is normal for them.
Yeah.
So like, this is a relationship, right? This is how it works, right? And no one's giving them sound advice or they have a sound experience for this.
And I think a partner can either help you grow or they can help you stay in the same place, in the same mental state that you are. And it seems like these are 2 people that are just holding each other down.
Again, though, I didn't feel ready to talk about it yet, so I didn't push anything. After talking about the issues with coworkers and friends on Wednesday and Thursday, I decided that it was either time that he and I ended things, or at the very least, I move out and get my own place, and we live separately for a while. I approached him with this on Thursday night, and of course, he was against it. We have had multiple conversations over the last week that range from 30 minutes long to 3 hours long about all of this, yet still have not come to a decision. He feels that this is a very drastic decision and that it is undermining the things we talked about, like moving out and getting a house. I told him that, of course, if he came up with a better idea, then I'm all ears. But until then, I feel that these 2 options are our only and best options. Our living situation plays a huge role in how we treat each other. We've lived with his family for 7 years now. Having 6 people live in one house adds a lot of strain and tension on a relationship, as he gets into it with everyone else, and then when I get home, he's already high-strung and on edge, and so am I for my job, and then we bicker. I feel like I have nowhere to go but our bedroom whenever he and I fight or if I need space. I don't have anywhere else I can go without leaving the house entirely, whereas he can just go hang out with his family or go out and work in the garage. With that being said, due to his major pushback on me moving out, I decided to offer a 3rd alternative option. We both move out immediately and rent a place for a year. At the end of that year, as long as things have improved and are working well, then we get into a mortgage together.
No!
Stop.
What are you saying?
I mean, at least it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but yeah.
Oh my God. This is the worst. Literally, what you actually need is
break up.
Apartments, separate.
And also separate relationships.
And separate relationships.
No, this is going to save the relationship, guys.
He wants to wait
3
months with both of us still living with his family and then get into a mortgage together rather than waiting until June like we talked about in the past. I told him that I don't feel like I can wait 3 months for change to happen, and I also don't feel like 3 months is long enough to work on our issues enough to determine if we can handle a mortgage together. I feel like us moving out immediately within the next 3 weeks into a rental would be our best option to make things work. I really don't want to end things with him, but I also don't want to go in circles anymore. Please don't keep
You're going in circles. These are circles.
Things aren't changing on both of our parts, and the last thing I can think of to help is that we move out immediately. I've told him multiple times now that since neither of us want to break up and we want to solve our problem so we can be happy, that this is a last-ditch effort to see if we can make it work.
It hasn't worked for so long.
It's been 7 years of last-ditch efforts.
This is not like a new thing. You know, if it had been good for the first couple years,
and then you had a bad year or two.
Yeah, then maybe.
But you said it was bad the whole time.
The whole time. Like, there's something rotten to the core.
If ultimately things don't work, I can handle the rent on my own and he can move back in with his family, if that is what it comes down to. At least with that, in the end, we'd be able to say we tried everything and didn't just give up. We have talked and talked and talked about this so many times over the last week, yet still haven't come to a decision. We've gone and looked at a few places, gotten all the numbers, and still he is pushing back. Every time we have a conversation, I feel like by the end of it, we've made progress towards coming to a decision and that we're on the same page and he's open to moving out together. The day after, we go to talk about it again and he is right back to being against it and saying we should just wait a few more months, just get into a mortgage like we talked about for years. He feels like we're so close to getting what we've wanted and that this would be a major step in the wrong direction. He doesn't feel like we're working like a team, and he feels that we really never have worked as a team in the time we've been together. But especially with this situation, you're so close. You're so close to the right answer.
Please, for the love of God.
You haven't worked as a team.
Ugh.
He said he feels backed into a corner and that I'm giving him an ultimatum. He feels like I've made the decision up in my head and that there's nothing he can do to sway it. He feels like we can just focus on treating each other better and that would solve the major issues. I just don't think anything is going to change while our living situation is the same. We've been there and done that multiple times over the years, and yet we're still dealing with it. I think at the very least, us moving out together is a step in the right direction. If we're truly meant to spend the rest of our lives together, then what is one more year until we own our own home? It's not like it's never going to happen. It would just be delayed a bit. And you know what you should never delay? Joining us for more full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search up Movie Storytime.
Do it.
Do
right
it.
now.
And there is a little bit more to this story.
Let's hit it.
This
Let's hit
freaking story. At this point, I don't know what to do. I feel lost and confused. We've been bickering and arguing and talking and crying for the last week now. Things feel awkward between us. I just want to get this figured out. I don't want to wait months because I don't want to get looped right back into the same cycle and forget about all of this. I don't want to get into a mortgage with him in the position that we're in. It's a lot easier for us to get out of a rental than it would be to get out of a mortgage. I feel that we need drastic change and we need it now. I don't know what to do anymore, and I honestly just need advice. I love him very much and can genuinely see myself spending the rest of my life with him. I just can't do it if we're going to keep doing it like this. I don't want to abandon 7 years of my life with him over something like this. It's not. But at this point, I am at my wit's end and just want to be happy with him. Please help. Any and all advice is greatly appreciated. I don't want to end this over something like this. The whole relationship is this. You said it yourself. Not one part of this relationship has been easy. It shouldn't be this hard.
It's so heartbreaking.
And there are comments probably saying the same thing that we're saying. Comment 1 says, it sounds like you two can't communicate without baiting each other. You let these little aggressions build up.
We literally saw that. And
Until you explode, then communicate honestly. Can you both take time daily to speak honestly with each other? Like if you said, I'm in a bad mood because today sucked and there's so many gosh dang people out here. I'm not mad at you, but you're not making me feel better. What would happen? Could you both promise each other that you'll stop sniping at each other? Opie says, usually things do mildly improve for a while after we have our talks, but as time goes on, things end up reverting back to how they were. It would absolutely take work on both of our ends to actively communicate like that on a daily basis. We both have a hard time with getting defensive and dismissive with each other whenever we express things of that nature, despite countless conversations about it. And then another comment says, since you're saving for a house, I'm assuming couples therapy is off the table. Opie says he is adamantly against couples therapy.
Because he wants to keep you down.
I've suggested it multiple times over the years, and every single time it gets shut down. He thinks if we needed therapy, then we shouldn't even be together. Whoa, he stumbled upon the answer. Obviously, I very much disagree with that and actually see the benefits of therapy, as I was someone who benefited from therapy in the past. He's done individual therapy once in his life, was matched with a bad therapist, so he hated it, and has never looked back. Commenter 2 says, you should get your own place and date him. He can stay at his parents until you feel like you can work it out. If you don't want to work it out, then break up. Under no circumstances do you enter a contract where he is co-signing anything. No mortgages and no apartment leases either. If you break up, you want a clean breakup. And that is the end of that story. And there was no happy ending.
I think my girlfriend is cheating on me through her Dungeons and Dragons game.
I guess she rolled a nat 1 on deception.
I, 27 male, have been going out with my girlfriend, 25 female, for almost 4 years. And we've been living together for a few months. She's funny and wonderful and kind and honestly pretty much everything I've ever wanted in a girl. She's also a bit of a D&D type nerd, which I don't think is a bad thing. It's good that she has her own friends and hobbies. By the way, this comes from Leaving Questions. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So she tried getting me into it, but I don't really get it. She tried teaching me about Dungeons & Dragons, but there were just too many weird rules and dice, and I just didn't see the fun in it. Red flag?
That's a red flag. Or maybe she's a bad teacher.
We tried playing Baldur's Gate 3 together, thinking that it would be easier to get into for me and for me to experience her world in a way, but I got really bored really fast, and at that point, it was better to let her do her own thing. We've got plenty of other stuff that we do together, and as I said, it's not a big deal for her to have hobbies that don't include me, and she does love her hobby, and she gets very excited about her weekly games and sometimes tells me about the epic adventures they go on, which admittedly sounds pretty fun secondhand, but is not really fun for me. We live in a 2-bedroom apartment, so we have a bedroom and a home office that we share where our laptops are. Her Dungeons & Dragons games are online and usually happen in the evening, so I just hang out in the living room or go out when she plays so as not to intrude. But a few weeks ago, I noticed that she locks the door when she plays.
Interesting.
It depends how intense the D&D sessions are.
I thought it was a little weird because why would you lock the door to play Dungeons & Dragons? And it didn't sit right with me. So I did what I now think might have been very sad and pathetic, but I genuinely didn't know what else to do. The last few weeks when she had her game, I sat out in the hall by the door and I listened.
I understand that he's coming from a place of, suspicion. I do think we could have just been like, hey, can I come listen to one of your games?
She uses headphones, so I could only really hear her side of the game. And at first, it was just some stuff about rolling dice, joking around with her friends, and spells doing whatever. But I kept at it. I sat there for 4 hours last week. She also said that me sitting outside to listen in on her game was a violation of her privacy and showed that I didn't trust her, which was why she felt like she needed to lock the door in the first place. I apologize for that, but at the same time, I said that me being wrong to eavesdrop doesn't justify what she did, to which she said she didn't do anything wrong. It was just what the game was. And it was just a game, but that made me feel even worse. Maybe I'm being whiny or misreading it, but she is the first person that I was ever really vulnerable with like that. And the way she spoke to me when she told me how much she loved me, it was just so similar to the way she spoke as her character that it made me uncomfortable. It made me feel like something was only mine and only for me was just being given to someone else for a game, and it felt like it cheapened it. Was she faking it with me? Was she genuinely feeling that for another person? I don't know what exactly it is that's bothering me because technically she's not wrong, but I don't care if she's technically not cheating. I just feel like there are certain sides of my girlfriend that should be reserved only for me, shouldn't there? I couldn't really verbalize it to her, and after a bunch of arguing back and forth, we just went to bed. And for the past few days, we've been in this weird state of limbo where we're both going on like nothing happened, but also there's clearly tension. Today, I couldn't take it anymore and said that we needed to talk about it. I said that I understood her hobbies are important to her, but I am her boyfriend and there should be certain things that are just for me. I can't go on knowing that she's talking like that to some other guy, so I told her that I support her going on with the games, but I ask that she no longer locks the door and no longer do whatever romantic stuff that she does in game. Why even play?
Why even play?
She said I didn't mind when she talked to me at length about her romance with the Asterion guy in Baldur's Gate. I told her again that that's not the same. I don't mind her playing at romance with a bunch of pixels and being moved by fiction, but that her D&D game isn't just fiction. It's her telling those things to an actual person, and that bothers me, so I want her to stop. She said I was being possessive and controlling and that I can't tell her to not have hobbies or how to behave. I told her that's true, but if she doesn't understand how I feel about this, we might not have a future together. She got angrier and said, I'm clearly not in a state to be having this discussion, and we'll talk again when I've calmed down. And we went to school. She's getting her MA. But in the time since, I've been the opposite of calming down. I just get more upset the more I think about it. Clearly, me being upset should at least make her consider stopping, even if she isn't actually cheating outright. Shouldn't my feelings matter on this issue? But also, maybe I'm not being reasonable. Maybe I am overreacting. Help!
Oh boy, I can't wait for the comments to roast you.
We have a very charged up Sophia Donner. Sophia, the floor is yours.
I'm upset. Again, she is acting. She is playing a character in a game that is completely different from her. However, a lot of who she is comes probably because she's not like a professional actor. even if she was, a lot of who you are comes out in the characters because you don't necessarily, if you're not like a professional, you don't know how to create an entirely different person from you who's like so far removed. So she's pulling from what she knows to create and play a character for a game. The fact that, I mean, okay, I don't think that this is like they have to break up. I think that there is a way they can get out of this if she makes him watch just hours of D&D podcasts. I need him to go, his homework is to go watch D&D podcasts to understand that these are actors playing characters and that everything that happens in the world, as long as all of the players are, you know, consenting and everything, and it's not like icky stuff, you know, like stuff that makes
Everyone's on board. Everyone's comfortable.
Everyone's on board. Everyone's comfortable. Then it has nothing to do with your relationship outside.
Yeah.
It's just completely different. Again, this is the same as actors acting in a play and confessing love to someone in a play. I mean, like, and his whole thing about like, oh, well, you're reading lines. Okay, well, what if I'm improvising in a scene and I confess love to someone? That's not real.
And guess what? D&D is improv.
Yeah, it's a really interesting scenario because it's like, I think again, like me not understanding D&D at all, the actor's example, I'm like, I get it instantaneously. Yeah. It's like, hey, if this is acting, I will say too, though, and I'm curious on both of your perspective, but specifically you, Sophia, like I could see someone saying, and I think this would be reasonable, where it's like, hey, I understand like people who are actors, like you have scenes where you're confessing love, or maybe like there's like scenes or whatever in a movie, in a play or whatever. And it's like, I totally respect that and salute to that, but I don't know if I'm built for that if my partner is doing that. But you just don't like, that's just like a misalignment, and you don't like try to make something work that doesn't work there. We've got some other relevant comments, ladies and gentlemen. What a breakdown. So, Low Flight 3701 says, I'm sorry to say this, but yes, absolutely. I don't play Dungeons & Dragons anymore and don't like it, but people do all sorts of things to maintain an atmosphere where they feel safe. Role-playing is incredibly vulnerable, and it's easy to feel stupid if someone overhears. You should have asked why she locked it if you were curious. Again.
Get curious.
Yeah, get curious before invading privacy. Always. Or just don't invade privacy. Try that. Your post implies that rather than her having an actual emotional affair, which is possible but unlikely, the point of contention is the act of saying it to someone else hurt your feelings. I can see why it would, honestly, but you hit her with a double whammy. You invaded her privacy and then made an accusation. She's not going to be in a state to be considerate of your feelings after that. Do you want a relationship to still be there after you win the argument? I don't want to be harsh, but this seems like a bad situation. You're probably a decent person and you're hurt right now, but there are times when you have to recognize that you're the transgressor. TLDR, yes, if you had asked about the lock or asked more about what the games are like before eavesdropping, you would likely not be surprised and hurt.
I agree. If he had gotten a little bit more curious, I mean, like she's trying to teach him, and I think probably every time she's talked about it, he's like, yeah, okay, it's so many rules. And I feel like if he had asked a couple more questions about what was normal, or even done a little research before he made all of those, you know, demands.
I accept that I probably effed up here, maybe a lot, and I will apologize for it, but I just can't be okay with her simulating a romantic relationship with another person. I can't. And if I just apologize and let it go, I'm going to be spending the rest of our time together feeling like I have to share her emotional vulnerability, if that makes sense. I don't want to be a prude, but I can't get comfortable with my girlfriend telling other people she loves them romantically. Even in the context of a game, it hurts too much. And we have an update, ladies and gentlemen. So, having read the comments y'all gave, I thought I maybe was actually overreacting and really did F up. Especially helpful, I thought, was a comment someone made about asking her about maybe keeping the door unlocked and being allowed to listen in on the session to get context and learn to accept her hobby and let her still enjoy it without me spiraling. So when she came home from school, I made an apology dinner, homemade pizza from scratch, her favorite. When I saw pizza at first, I'm like, homemade pizza? Okay.
Pizza from a named chain.
And so we then sat down to talk. She started by demanding an apology because whatever else I say, eavesdropping and not trusting her were huge F-ups on my part. I agreed and apologized immediately because that was crappy behavior on my part, no question. That helped her to be more open to hearing me out. So I said more calmly and tactfully that it bothers me that she is simulating romantic love with a person I don't know in a context I don't understand. I said that I can and do apologize for my actions, but I can't change how I feel, and that also needs to be discussed. So she asked what I had in mind. I told her I think that trust should go both ways. So me trusting that the game is just a game and it doesn't mean anything is well and good, but in return, I'd like for her to keep the door unlocked and let me sit in for a few sessions. I promised not to be disruptive, not to overreact or interrupt the game, and to bring up any issues I had privately with her until after the game was over. She seemed relieved because she was so worried I'd demand she drop the game or break up with her, and she said personally she didn't mind, but she needed to bring it up with her group, which I thought was very reasonable. The rest of the evening, though, she was constantly on her phone, constantly getting Discord notifications, and seemed more and more upset. This lasted for literally hours, well into the night past when I was asleep. I asked if anything was wrong, and she said maybe, but not to wait up, and she promised to tell me everything in the morning.
She's getting all these notifications?
Yeah, and maybe she even shared, like...
Yeah, she might have said, like, he's not really comfortable, so he wants to listen in, and they were like, no!
So I didn't get much sleep, but I also didn't want to pry too much, having just promised not to. Good boy. So come morning, when I asked what happened, since she clearly didn't get much sleep and was clearly nervous, she said she brought it up with the group and reactions were mixed. I'm going to give these people fake names to track. So when she brought it up, everyone seemed okay with me listening in except Joe. Now, this obviously made my girlfriend respond that seeing the relationship between their characters was the whole point of me listening in, to which he said that I'm being unreasonable and violating his boundaries by making unreasonable demands. This was already pretty bad in my eyes, but then she told me about the private messages. After the group exchange, she got 3 messages. One was from Joe. Joe wrote a long, really, really long message about how much he cared about her, how much it hurt him to see her dim her light to appease a controlling, harmful boyfriend who stifled her creativity, and how she should be with someone who appreciated her, and that he was available if she wanted to talk. He finished with a paragraph about how women like her always go for the selfish a-holes and don't appreciate all the wonderful guys around them. How he felt such a connection with her through their characters, and how could she ignore it? I genuinely couldn't believe I was seeing one of these in the wild. I don't usually get secondhand embarrassment, but that crap was so cringe, I almost passed away. Like, I genuinely laughed. I couldn't really be angry because that crap was just so sad. She also got messages from Jenny, another player, who said Joe seemed way too invested in the romance for her taste, and she thought that those segments were taking up a lot of game time, which she thought was better used elsewhere. She never said anything because she thought that my girlfriend was really into it, but now that it became an issue, she thought that she should. She also mentioned she found Joe creepy, which I personally appreciate. Jenny's a girl's girl. I don't know any of these people IRL because it's an online group, but I certainly think Jenny might be my new best friend. Finally, there was a message from Mitch, the man running the game, who said that Joe reached out to him demanding I not be allowed, and this is a quote, to violate the intimacy of the group. And he should talk to my girlfriend too to get her to drop me listening in and possibly drop me altogether. I don't even know how or why Mitch would even attempt to do that. Mitch, make her break up with her boyfriend.
Make her break up with him.
Do it, Mitch.
You're the DM, Mitch. Come on.
You roll the dice and pick it. All this resulted in them canceling the next game as they work it out. My girlfriend didn't respond to Joe yet, but at least she seems relieved that I am taking this well. I told her, of course I am. I'm not going to be upset over some guy being into her. This is good. She's wonderful. Of course, guys are going to be into her wherever she goes. The issue I was worried about was that she was into him back, and these messages convinced me that that is clearly not the case, which seems to have made her feel a lot better. We talked a bit more, and now she seems to agree that locking the door in context might have seemed suspicious, and that going forward, our ground rule should be that character dynamics that make her feel like she should lock the door might be the exact dynamics she should make me aware of, which I promised to trust her to tell me these things and to not eavesdrop anymore, and to approach her openly about listening in on sessions. Also, the romance with Joe's character isn't going to continue.
I think Joe should be like out of the group.
Yeah, Joe sounds like a terrible person to have in the group. Like,
again, like in past D&D experiences and stuff where like I've had a couple moments where someone has kind of crossed boundaries or like made someone else uncomfortable, and the DM was super receptive. Like, as a DM, I think you are kind of like HR. You are like the boss of the game, kind of, but you're also HR. And so people come to you. Hopefully you're a good person, but people come to you. And so you have to make sure that everyone feels comfortable. And so I think that they should get rid of Joe.
Imagine Joe was the dungeon master.
And that does happen. That does happen, where you have a really sucky
Everyone must
person.
love me and break up with their boyfriends.
Unfortunately, that is a thing that happens.
There are some really power crazy DMs out there.
Especially when you have like women in a group, you have to be very careful.
Now, also, the romance with Joe's character isn't going to continue, but seeing how she feels about Joe now, I think I do trust her to do character romance going forward, just to not hide it from me or be selective who she does it with. I don't know how this Joe situation is going to be handled within the group, but I guess that's up to them. Since playing with him is obviously going to be very awkward for her, guess since she doesn't intend to keep up the romance, it doesn't really matter. By the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this, just as juicy and just as informational. Go to Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to your podcast and search OK Storytime and binge our 2,000 episode catalog. But let's get into the end of the story here. Small edit, since the situation has basically resolved itself now. Joe didn't like being left on red, so he wrote my girlfriend a very rude message, here we go, about how, I kid you not, she was going to pass away alone with cats because her a-hole boyfriend is going to leave her when she loses her looks. He literally never saw her in person, to be clear, uncovering my secret plan, I guess. So she blocked him and sent a screenshot to Mitch. Joe isn't going to be part of the group anymore. I'm sorry, but like just the very first message, if I'm like Dungeon Master,
Yeah.
block.
Absolutely. The
Kick
second
out.
that
Done.
Joe comes to anyone and says they have to break up with their girlfriend and I am in love with, or like whatever he said. Bye. Bye.
Out of here. Girlfriend apologized for not recognizing how absolutely unhinged this guy was. We reasserted that in any game interaction she isn't comfortable having in front of me is probably one that she shouldn't be having. Relevant comments. Familiar Barracuda 43 says, I'm glad everything seems well, but I feel like you still need to have a discussion about why she was locking the door in the first place, because to me, that says on some level she knew it was wrong and that it would hurt you. And if I was you, I'd be unable to not cope with that until I get the full truth.
I mean, I disagree with that because I feel like they've already addressed it.
Yes.
And also we know that the first 4-hour session, nothing happened.
Yeah.
So it's not like, you know.
She didn't like, this is something that she very much loves. She wants to be able to do it and express herself fully without limitation.
Yeah. Like it's clearly not that every time she has a session, she's like romancing someone or whatever. It's like, we already know. The first we watched or listened to was fine.
I feel like, yeah, it was like she got uncomfortable because she's like, oh, I don't want to feel like I have to change myself or something like that. Opie says, from what she said since, it basically wasn't so much about knowing this was wrong, since she supposedly was locking her door at her parents' home too, which is where she lived before, and before the romance even took place, and more about feeling safe to get into the headspace to perform. Since I explained that this was part of what made it feel so off to me, and given how Joe clearly had a very different view of the situation than her, she agreed that going forward the door should remain unlocked and she will work on getting more comfortable performing even in my presence, be it with me in voice chat or present in the room, since Joe's reaction clearly didn't happen in the void, unhinged as it was. And we have this relevant comment. P-Buns says, you were very valid with your feelings of being uncomfortable with your partner emulating love with another, even if it was just role-playing. I myself play D&D and would be super uncomfortable if my partner was sitting there flirting at the table with someone else, quote unquote, in character, so it's understandable that you would be too. I'm not sure why people thought your boundaries are wrong on your initial post. Glad you guys could figure it out nonetheless. And OP says, I'm not saying this is going to be easy, but I love her, and if this is important to her, I feel I owe her at least the benefit of giving her that grace.
Don't fully agree with that last commenter. Again, like an excellent example of this is the D&D show that I watched, Dimension 20, the original group that they have. There is a married couple in it, and they both romance, you know, different characters all the time. So it's, you know.
At the end of the day, don't control people.
Don't control people.
Don't be doing that.
But you can still express as long as you're truthful and you don't eavesdrop on their conversations for 6 hours. If OP had gone to his partner and said, hey, why'd you lock the door? It makes me a little bit insecure. Probably would have solved things way earlier.
Would have all come out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of that story.
My boyfriend is obsessed with his hobby. His entire life revolves around it.
Is it Beyblades? Is it Pokemon? What's it gonna be?
My boyfriend is obsessed with climbing/bouldering. He plans almost his entire life around it. He's very good at it, and he's even become semi-sponsored. He gets discounted gear through sponsorships, not money. By the way, this comes from user Mulco. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. We met through climbing about 4 years ago when we were both already in relationships. and became friends. While I've known him, he has become more and more committed to the lifestyle. He sold his car to fund a climbing trip. He was halfway through an engineering degree and dropped out because it was getting in the way of competitions. His other real-life friends have all moved on in various ways, so most of his friends are just as obsessed with climbing as he is. He still had other hobbies and a stable income until we had relocated. I work for the government, and was offered a promotion if I moved out west. My boyfriend was thrilled and really supportive because of how many rock climbing spots are out there. We decided to take the risk, accept the position, and move in together. The new position required a lot of changes. I'm on call most weekends, so my days of super competitive climbing are cut back. I get hair tested, so no more fun substance times. Some days I have to travel to different work sites, so I won't get home until after midnight. Overall, the job has been great though. It's laid back and fun, and the benefits are phenomenal. I'm really happy that I made the jump. However, my boyfriend has gone the total opposite. Back home, he had a 40-hour-a-week job with benefits. Out here, one of his climbing buddies got him a job at a sandwich shop working the lunch shift. He explained it would be temporary while he searched for something better. Well, 6 months later, he's still there with no interest in leaving. In his defense, he lives the absolute bare bones lifestyle. No car, no insurance, and minimum possessions. He can get by on very little, which is financially responsible for his income, but he also has no saving. Any extra money goes towards climbing gear, granola, and travel money, like gas, flights, and bus tickets to attend competitions. Don't get me wrong, I am still a competitive climber and do well at it, but I really just want to have fun and meet people. My boyfriend used to be pretty relaxed about it as well, but since the bar is so much higher out here, he's thrown himself into getting better. The other climbing bros love it, and they all feed off of one another. And let me just say, most of those guys suck. They are almost all single. One wears a wedding band with climbing inscribed on it, broke and shameless. Like musicians, but less cool. The last time I hung out with all of them, one of the guys told me I should buy drinks since I make the big money. When he's not climbing with the dudes, he's watching the same climbing videos online, reading climbing forums, researching new gear, or compulsively checking scores on climbing results. I feel like all we ever talk about or do anymore is climbing related, and I'm getting so frustrated. I've talked about making plans to do other things, but he won't commit because he's waiting to hear about climbing. No car means you're tied to the guy driving out. I even tried to plan a trip to New York City for his birthday, but he says he doesn't know if he can go until he figures out whether he has enough points to attend a world-level climbing competition in August. And then I got pregnant. He is supportive in small ways, but is reluctant to cancel a climbing date to go to the gestational ultrasound. When we talk about options, he says he doesn't think we're in the right place. I've never given much thought to having children, but feel this little heartache at his answer. He thinks I'd be a great mom. He wants to have kids someday, just not now. And then I lost it. He's moved on, but I'm still pretty sad about it. Reddit, I want to talk to him about all of these feelings. We are really growing apart while I still find him attractive. I don't want to have spicy sleep anymore. I'm afraid I'll become pregnant again, and since nothing in his situation is changing, he'll still choose climbing. He's become the people that we used to joke about, people who live in a van or a tent at the prime climbing spots to eat, sleep, and breathe climbing. On one hand, I'm glad he's happy out here, but on the other, I've found myself having a harder time relating to him. It feels like something we used to have in common has become really divisive. My parents are furious as he spoke to them before we left about being committed to building a future together, and they don't understand why he's backsliding. For that matter, I don't either. I told him last month that I didn't want to hurt his feelings, but I thought his lifestyle was pretty disappointing. He said he would look for different work, but hasn't even tried. In the climbing, quote, mansion, which is an old house with 6 climbing dudes living in it near us, a room is opening up. I'm seriously considering asking him to move out and live with his buddies. However, the other night he told me he was really happy with us and wanted to discuss the future. I'm so confused. I love him and want to support him, but his lack of ambition is such a huge turnoff. How can he even bring up the future? The only goals he has are all centered around some crazy sport that could easily end if he hurt himself. How do I talk to him about this without hitting below the belt? I want to do it soon because he asked one of my close friends about ring shopping.
Oh, wow.
Good sweet Lord. I don't want to get engaged right now. Help. There's an update. I didn't think people would care that much about an update, but I keep getting private messages asking what happened. I've gotten more messages than responses on my post. Apparently, a lot of us have dated climbers. For the sake of ending the story, here's how things went after our post. Work had slowed down a lot, and while I was still putting in overtime here and there, I wasn't really traveling to work sites. We were spending more time together, and I felt like one night in particular was a good time to bring up the subject. The conversation went okay. I told him I was frustrated that he keeps talking about finding a new job but never follows through. I brought him 2 different work flyers that I thought would be right up his alley. One was for climbing up cellular reception towers. Come on, even I think that sounds intriguing. And they pay really well.
Yeah,
it's super dangerous.
So dangerous.
And the other was for an engineering assistant. He basically said that he knows there's no future at his current work, but it pays enough for him to get by and he's having fun. Oh, I told him I understood, but I was thinking that maybe we should stop living together. This turned into an argument about chores, money, and the big one, what we wanted out of our future. He reiterated that he wants kids, marriage, and that he loves me very much, but he doesn't want to do those things right now. I asked him what would happen if I got pregnant, and he said that was very unlikely. When I told him I felt that he had made climbing his #1 priority, he balked and said I was exaggerating. I threw open the closet door and pulled out all the camping equipment he bought before we came out here. All still with tags attached. Unless I've used it, he has not come on those trips because he's been climbing.
It's giving that SpongeBob with Patrick when they were taking care of that. What were they taking care of? But like SpongeBob like pulled like open like the closet. It's like just diapers. He's
Oh
like,
yeah. They had like the little scallop.
Yeah.
This is hundreds of dollars of gear untouched over an 8-month period. I pointed out his dusty mountain bike. He said he doesn't have a car. What about the Frisbee golf bag that is in our storage container? He hasn't had time. At this point, I just started crying. These were all activities we used to really enjoy and do together. I just feel like an idiot. I tell him I understand where he's at in his life and I want him to be happy, but I'm going to start looking for another apartment. We have a little over a month left on our lease, so at the end, we can part ways amicably. He looks completely devastated. All he says back is, if that's what you want, I want. To listen to full episodes with stories like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, all you got to do is search the name of our show, OK Storytime. You can listen to the entire back catalog. We're coming to the end of the story here.
Yeah.
He's being shown like all the evidence that it's like, yes, you really are prioritizing climbing over every other thing.
Yeah.
And he's just saying like, nuh-uh.
No. Yeah, she's literally pulling out all of the things.
Right.
And it's not even like it's, promised things of like things they might be interested in. Like she said, it's things that they have been interested in. And so it's like, if he's not understanding right now, because I'm sure like from his perspective, I'm sure they have nice moments. I'm sure they do hang out with each other like they live together. Right. So it's like, I'm sure that there is some evidence that there is a happy relationship, but not like well-rounded. You know what I mean? Like obviously just a small part of the relationship. And there's more that seems to be like neglected from all the climbing. So that must be heartbreaking for him to hear, but if that's what he wants to do, he can. It just isn't what she wants.
If it is going to work, which it might not, like this would have to be the wake up moment.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, okay, I can't just be like a climbing vagrant.
Yeah.
Which is a really fun, cool, exciting lifestyle. You're going all over the place. You're with friends. You're living on a shoestring budget. It's like, I've been there as like a snowboard guy, and it's really fun.
I'm sure.
But like, it's not conducive to starting a family and
no.
raising a child or.
Because like she said too, I mean, like he could easily be injured from all of this, and if he doesn't even have a savings to like fall back on, like that's something I'm so scared of is like I feel like I need to have a savings because hospital bills are crazy expensive. So I'm like so scared that like, I mean, obviously you don't have to save for like a house and stuff, whatever. But like hospital bills scare me the most.
Right.
And if he doesn't have any savings and he's always doing something physically like difficult, he could totally get hurt.
They are currently wanting like diametrically opposed lifestyle strategies. I found an apartment and we'll be moving out in a week. Things have been cordial enough. We share a studio and he keeps the bed while I sleep in the closet on a camping cot. Hey, it finally got some use. He's moving into the climbing house temporarily, apparently. My parents are worried that I'm falling apart, but I feel okay. I'm sad, but okay. I still really care about him, but I've realized almost all of the stress in my life was coming from the energy I was putting into our relationship. Maybe it'll sink in when we finally do split ways. So there you have it.
Wow.
I have a feeling it will. Like that will feel like the wake up call, but like I still don't know if he comes back and is like, no. Like I would still give it. Well, the real thing is like, what do you want? If you want this for your life and you want to be a climbing vagrant, you have the right to want that as a person. We can all choose the way we want to live our lives.
Exactly.
But it just means that y'all aren't going to work together.
Yeah. You just got to find another spider girl.
My boyfriend's coworker is obsessed with him.
Oh no.
My boyfriend, Joey, male 20, started working part-time at a chain restaurant a few months ago. I, female 21, work at a bookstore part-time about 10 minutes away, but we rarely work at the same time.
He likes working evenings. I perform mornings and afternoons. Whenever we happen to be working at the same time, though, we like to meet up during our breaks. By the way, this comes from Fixated and Frustrated. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, a few weeks ago, he wasn't feeling good at work and asked me to bring him some tea for his throat. When I came in, there was a pretty hostess behind the front podium who greeted me. I recognized her as one of the girls my boyfriend talked about sometimes, one of his work friends. I told her who I was and that I came to give Joey tea, and she told me to leave it at the podium, and she'd give it to him herself. Joey specified in the text for me to wait for him so he could see me for a few minutes, so I said I'd rather wait and give it to him. She got a kind of mean look on her face and told me that Joey was busy and I'd only be interfering if I got in the way.
Good.
The hostess is that guy in the cage waving Joey's arm with the baby. The baby's name
Oh,
is Joey.
yeah.
It's a Superman reference.
Superman reference.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Joey! I told her I would wait in the lobby, and she said, "You'll be taking spots away from our customers." Spots in the lobby?
Good.
Small
Lobby
lobby.
spots?
Must be a small
Perfect.
lobby.
Let me take
Only
them
it
all.
was a weekday at 4 p.m. and practically nobody was in the restaurant or waiting for tables. At that moment, Joey whipped around the corner, gave me a hug and kiss, and thanked me for the tea. We talked for a few, made plans for later that day, and he went back to work. I said thank you to the girl. Her name is Jess, female, 23 or 24, and she kind of just said goodbye in a distracted tone. I mentioned it to him when we hung out later that day, and he said he thought that was odd behavior, since other waiters and waitresses have SOs who occasionally come in to drop something off, say hi, and she always directs them to the back of the restaurant. Neither of us really thought much of it, though. 2 weeks ago, Joey and I happened to be working at the same time, and I forgot a lunch, so he told me to come visit during my break and we could eat together. When I got there, he had a plate of food waiting at a table. When we sat down, Jess sat right next to Joey without asking if she could join. That's weird.
Yeah.
She seemed to make a point of only talking to him, not even looking me in the eye, and talked about their work friends, something I couldn't relate to. I stepped away to use the restroom, and when I came back, I heard her saying to him in a witchy voice, "I thought this was our tradition. I didn't say you could invite your girlfriend to our lunch. You should have asked me first."
Huh?
Seems like you joined, girl. Seems like they had lunch plans and you joined.
See, I have this crazy tradition called getting lunch, the little lunch date with my boyfriend.
It's crazy.
It's super crazy.
It's crazy because it seems like you don't have that tradition because he's not your boyfriend. I thought that was a little off, so I asked him about it after she went back to work. He told me they had lunch every time they worked a lunch shift together and would use the time to crap on the less likable workers at the restaurant. He said she called it tradition, but he didn't think he'd have to ask permission to invite me. I was kind of offended that I had to be invited to have lunch with my own boyfriend. And that was the first time I suspected something weird about her.
Oh, boy.
She's constantly texting him and asking to hang out. Whenever she's doing something, whenever she's near his house or out of work, she's asking him if he's free. Joey doesn't have a lot of free time outside of work, and his mentality toward it is, well, I see her at work all the time anyway, so I don't really want to hang out with her outside of work that much. So it seems like he's in a good place. Like, he seems oblivious.
Yes.
But also kind of like, yeah, that is weird. That's not cool. I don't know.
Yeah, so far, but I guess
But in a good way.
we're approaching a line, it feels, and correct
Yeah.
me if I'm wrong, of like, okay, now you are understanding and acknowledging. So
Yeah,
that's
now
like,
you're informed.
what do we do now? That's what
How
I'm
do we
curious to
fix this?
see.
She doesn't relent. She sends him Snapchats constantly where she's dolled up or with other guys or in bed with a tank top and shorts on. I told him this makes me uncomfortable, but he said he can't control what she sends him. When she sent him a suggestive picture of herself in a bikini that said, "About to get wet, come over and join me." Huh? Huh?
No.
Dude, block. What? Okay, now you've gone into the bad place.
Yep.
Dude,
I
she
can't-
sent you a picture of her in a bikini and said, "I'm about to get wet, come over." What?
I can't control it. I'm just a man.
I admit I started tearing up and he felt so bad he blocked her on Snapchat. Good. But it shouldn't have taken your girlfriend tearing up over this. You should have looked at that and went, "Whoa, block." This was a week ago. 2 days ago, I visited him at work again for lunch and she was working. She didn't join us this time, and after Joey kissed me goodbye, she walked right up to me and said, very seriously, "If you come near this restaurant again, I'll end you. Don't F with me."
Is that a threat?
And then I said, "Did you just threaten me?
Ooh.
Hello, police?" Now, I don't think she actually wants to hurt me, but I can't stomach the thought of him working with her anymore. I mean, then you go and tell your boyfriend, "Hey, your coworker just threatened to end my life." She won't stop reaching out to him, and when he's been working these past 2 days, I felt really stressed out and freaked. I told him what she said, but he said she must have been joking or something. How is that a joke? How is that a joke?
She probably was like, "I told your girlfriend that I'm going to end her." Haha.
It's clear she's obsessed with him the most unhealthy way, and I don't know what to do. One of their work friends is having a pool party sort of deal this weekend, and all of the kids he works with are going.
Oh no, it's going to be wet.
She could be in a bikini. He wanted me to come, but I can't go because of a family obligation. But Jess will be there, and the thought of him and her swimming in a pool together and generally having very little clothes on is making me dizzy. I know he'd never do anything to hurt me, but I don't trust this girl around him. I can't ask my boyfriend to quit his job or stop hanging out with his work friends. But how do I approach this? I'm sick to my stomach about this girl right now, and I don't know what to do. There is an edit, folks.
Oh.
Dude, I mean, like, tell your boyfriend I'm super uncomfortable. She absolutely threatened me. It wasn't a joke. I am not comfortable with you having any sort of, interaction with her outside of purely work.
Yeah, like I feel unsupported, and
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
feels
hey,
like you're not listening to me.
yeah, you're not listening to me, and then it's like, okay, if you do nothing, then I'm kind of just like kind of in this constant state of like, okay, what's she gonna do next? And you're not, talking her down, so she might get more and more bold. Who knows what'll happen? Like, yeah, I think it's like, yo, you need to do something here. Like I'm like the little cat just hanging in there in the bad way,
And Nicole H says she's a patron. She can inform management that she was threatened by the hostess.
Ooh, great point.
Yeah.
I like that.
Edit. So after reading through some responses, I texted my boyfriend. He just got out of work and told him everything I felt. I told him that I was 100% sure Jess was not kidding around me when she said those things to me, and that I feel uncomfortable with her presence in Joey's life, and I think the manager should be told. I also told him that I don't feel comfortable with him going to the pool party. The main reason he wanted to go was to see off a friend who's enlisting in the army soon. But someone mentioned he should just hang out with the guy one-on-one instead, which I passed along to him and he thought was a good idea. He's not going to go and will be coming to my grandma's party with me instead. To be honest, after reading some of your responses, I started getting mad. Not at you guys, at him. And I kind of told him off about not standing up for me and completely shutting this girl out. So right now we're texting back and forth and he's apologizing. Part of the reason it took him so long to distance himself from her was because he thought she was sending those Snapchats to all of his friends, not just him. But after asking around, his friends told him they didn't get many of the suggested ones, including the bikini one. He also told me he's been distancing himself from her in the last week and refuses to spend his lunch break with her. He's going to talk to the manager about it, though he's worried about how his work friends, who are very close to Jess, I guess she's worked there for a while, will react if she gets canned. But he wants to see her gone as much as I do. Thanks for the responses. I'm curious as to how the manager and Jess will respond to all of this. And I'll update if something happens. And there is an update, folks, but what do you think?
Well, it looks like we're making positive progress.
Yeah.
I mean, again, initially we were like, okay, he's naive, right? And then it got to the point where I was like, the naive excuse ain't really cutting
doesn't
anymore.
really work anymore.
I think if we keep going in this direction, then we can get back into the green zone of goodness.
Agreed.
That's what I'm thinking.
I agree.
So I'm down to wait and see.
I think if he listens to OP, listens to her concerns and acts on those concerns.
A thumbs up.
Update. Joey went into work a few days ago and talked to his boss. He told him what happened, but the boss wanted to talk to me. So I came down to the restaurant to tell him my side. He was a really cool guy and seemed disturbed by what Jess had been doing, since he's known her for a while. He told me he would handle it. Joey and I figured he was gonna fire her, and we were really excited about it. But she didn't get fired. She got talked to. I guess since she's worked there for so long, the boss felt more comfortable giving her a warning. Some of Joey's friends from work told him that she spent much of her shift running back and forth from the bathroom, crying. I would feel bad if she wasn't such a psycho. I'm sorry, she started crying because she got talked to about her behavior?
Hey, listen, Jess. I don't want to listen. I just want to get away. Do you want to join me?
No one wants to join me. I'm always alone.
I'm going to be alone forever.
I'm in my bikini alone.
I'm going to be alone and dry.
Joey didn't want to go back to work, and he was really pissed that she didn't lose her job. He wanted to talk to his boss about it, but his friends talked him out of it. I guess Jess had a really rough time in high school and dropped out of college, and the boss has been giving her second chances since she was a teenager. So Joey was all set to quit until this happened.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Whoa.
We were hanging out at Joey's house later that night, and his phone started blowing up. She was calling him, and she wouldn't stop. She left text messages like, I know you're home. I see your car. And he got freaked out and went to the window. There she was, standing in the driveway on her phone. He wanted to call the police, but I just told him we could go outside and tell her to go away, so we did. And I'm going to tell you guys to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Let's go.
There is a little bit left to this story. What do you think is going to happen?
I'm feeling some charges.
I think so too.
Right?
I think she's going to get all upset and they're going to call the police.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and then hopefully she will get fired.
That would be great. And then
It
she'd
would
be like,
be great.
he's supposed to be with me. You don't understand, freaking officer.
From my job and you stole the guy who was supposed to be my boyfriend.
She's a thief. You should arrest her for life or forever. No.
No. But there's a little bit left.
Ooh.
But she started yelling at Joey, telling him how I was a liar and how she never said any of those things. She said she still wanted to be his friend and that I was getting in the way of their friendship. Joey told her to F off, essentially, and that he doesn't want her to speak to him anymore. He told her if she didn't leave, he'd call the police. So she did, but not without knocking down his family's trash barrels first. When he went in the next day, she wasn't there, even though she was scheduled to be. She called the boss and quit after she left his house. I don't know what the heck was wrong with this girl and why she was so obsessed with my boyfriend, but she's out of our lives now. I know some people were saying Joey seemed to be loving the attention or he was cheating, but if he was, I feel like someone like Jess wouldn't have a problem spilling that. And Joey's kind of a dumb butt. He wouldn't know if someone was flirting with him even if they danced around in lingerie in front of him, so I trust him. I mean, she kind of did.
I mean,
She
again,
literally sent him a picture of her in a bikini.
I've said it time and time again. Men are dumb. We're really dumb.
You just gotta get smarter.
Dumb boy.
No,
gotta get
yeah,
smarter,
we're just
man.
dumb sometimes.
You gotta get
We
smarter.
learn.
We learn.
But we
Please.
start is stupid.
We start
stupid.
very dumb.
It's stupid.
Joey may still quit his job just because his work friends seem a little iffy about just quitting, but we'll see. Thanks again for the responses. And that is the end of that story, folks.
Aw.
Especially when it comes to flirting, men are
Yeah.
really dumb.
It's true.
Apparently, you're dummies.
You can literally tell us, "Hey, we're into you and we like you." And we're like, "I don't know. I don't think she's into me.
I don't think,
I don't think she
is.
likes me."
I don't know. But wowie wow. I mean, glad that OP's finally got her boyfriend to understand and realize what was going on.
Yeah.
Because I just was a problem maker.
And I'm glad that she's the one who quit.
Me too, because
hard to
everyone
force
would,
her.
everyone would maybe, fault OP's boyfriend for it.
Mhm.
But, now she quit on her own accord.
She did it.
So that's good.
Yeah.
But folks, that's the end of that story. And I think we've got another one.
You do.
Oh.
My twin brother stole my girlfriend and the whole family took his side.
Sounds like you don't like to share.
And trigger warning, physical altercation. After being disowned 8 years ago, my family has invited me, my wife, 27 female, and daughter, 1 female, for Christmas. After getting conflicting advice from friends, one buddy suggested I post my dilemma here to see what random internet strangers would say. I, 25 male, am the youngest of 4 kids. My siblings are Michael, 31 male, Sarah, 28 female, and my twin brother Casey, 25 male. By the way, this comes from Icy Clouds 456, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, Growing up, I was the black sheep. My family is full of athletes. Dad was a star basketball player for a D2 school. Mom played volleyball, Michael played soccer, Sarah played softball, and Casey was the star running back. I was never interested in physical sports. I preferred archery, which my family called wimpy.
Dude.
That's crazy.
Oh
Archery
my
is so
gosh.
cool and also requires a lot of upper body strength.
You don't even yes.
I've done it
yes.
before.
I love archery.
Archery's awesome. I really wanted to get into archery, but my mom watched me do it once, and then she got really scared that someone was going to turn and this is true. Someone was going to turn and shoot me, and so she told me I couldn't do it anymore.
No comment.
And I was really good for the first time I did it.
I believe it. I was called Robin Hood by my family.
Wow. My parents were always invested in my siblings and rarely attended my events. Between ages 14 to 16, I participated in about 20 tournaments, while my parents showed up to only one. I wasn't neglected, but they were never emotionally there for me like they were for my siblings. As a teenager, I resented this. Whenever I brought it up, they called me an attention seeker. However, this isn't why I was disowned. When I was 15, I began dating Amy, 25 female, who was in my
Ew.
grade. I think presumably Amy is now 25.
Red flag OP.
Was not 25 at the time. I'm sure she was also 15 at the time.
Yeah, they're both 15.
After 6 months, I introduced her to my family, and they liked her. They really liked her. Despite being young, I could see a future with her.
Yay!
Almost 2 years later, one of Amy's ex-friends told me she'd been cheating on me for months.
Okay.
Shout out to that friend, I guess. After confronting her, she revealed it was with my twin brother, Casey.
I just couldn't tell you guys apart.
I thought you were him. No, I thought he was you.
No, it was
When
that
I
one.
first started dating you, I thought you were him.
I thought you were him. I meant, I thought he was you.
She said that while she initially loved me, her love for Casey surpassed that.
Oh my gosh.
I hate this girl.
She's just like your family.
Yeah. When I confronted Casey at home, years of resentment exploded and I sucker punted him, knocking him out. I admit I shouldn't have gotten violent. To avoid pressing charges against me, I could have been tried as an adult. That's crazy if they did that. They definitely hate you if they did that.
Oh my god.
I was sent to live with my paternal aunt, who was estranged from the family and lived 2 hours away. This is also a movie.
This is a movie.
You get in trouble and then you get sent to your magical aunt.
Yeah. Also, siblings are gonna get in fights. That's just what happens.
That's the crazy thing to me. That's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, he stole his girlfriend. He punches him. And then they're like, well, we could have pressed charges on you. Huh?
What?
From then on, I had no contact with them. Initially tough, but with my aunt's and her husband's support, I moved on. I transferred schools, attended university in my aunt's city, and graduated as an electrical engineer. I met my wife, got married, and considered inviting my family to the wedding, but decided against it to avoid drama. Yeah, you don't want your brother to take your new wife.
You might have pulled a part 2 on you.
My wife and I bought a house an hour from my aunt and were blessed with a daughter a year ago.
Aww.
So exciting.
And I know exactly why your parents are reaching out. Hit the one female.
Grandparents. A week ago, I received a Facebook message from my parents wanting to reconnect over Christmas. I told them I'd consider it. Later, both Michael and Sarah sent friend requests, which felt weird. My wife said if I decided to go, she and our daughter would spend Christmas at her father's house, since she's 2 months pregnant and doesn't need unwanted stress. My question is, should I try to reconcile with my family or not? On one hand, they might feel bad and want to apologize. On the other, they might try to make me apologize to Casey, which I won't do.
Dang, it's only like they could have like said I'm sorry in the text message
Yeah.
and explained a little bit of what they were going through. But
That's what I'm saying. They would have, if they actually were sorry, they would have said that in the text and said, like, I'm so sorry for everything that went down. You know, we really regret everything that we did, blah, blah, blah. We would love if you could spend Christmas with us. If you really want to go see them, don't go for Christmas. Say, hey, I'd love to go meet for coffee. Let's talk this.
Yeah, they don't
Let's talk about this.
deserve your Christmas.
Yeah, don't go meet them for Christmas. That's such a big holiday where like all families around, a lot of pressure. If you want to talk to them, do it separately from that. That's my advice. Do you have any other thoughts?
To Boxing Day.
Yeah, day after Christmas. Comments. Comment 1 says, I think you should go another time. Spend Christmas with your wife and child.
Dude, I didn't know you read this earlier.
Dude, I freaking nailed it. Yikes. I mean, good. Visit your family at a less stressful time to see if they have any ulterior motives. It might just be about them wanting to see their grandchildren and not so much about you, which would be hurtful to you. Comment 2, I honestly wouldn't spend Christmas away from my pregnant wife for them. Maybe I'm missing something, but why Christmas? They could have reached out at any time and given you a chance to pick a convenient time, as they're the ones trying to amend things. I don't know, it seems weird to me. I personally wouldn't go unless you desperately want them back in your life. Comment 3, it's a trap. Notice they didn't open with any remorse or any sign of an apology. They want something. Money, free work, an organ, access to your baby, or just to look good to their friends. I feel like the twin needs some sort of organ. And he's like, you're the only one who can donate.
Oh my gosh. Or even further, he needs a little bit of special baby juice because he doesn't have good baby juice.
That actually is a good idea. Yeah.
And since
That's
you
a
guys
good
have basically
conspiracy
the
theory.
same genetics.
Yeah. I'm not saying don't go, but keep your expectations low. Be ready for that "we need you to do X for us in order to properly reconcile" speech. And have a quick exit prepared. And there is an update, folks. So let's get into it. Update 2. It's been a rough 2 weeks. 2 days after Christmas, my wife experienced unbearable abdominal pain and could barely stand. That's scary. She's pregnant. Her sister and I rushed her to the hospital. Oh, no. This is what I was worried about. Where we discovered she'd suffered a miscarriage and needed immediate surgery. The worst part was explaining what happened to my wife. Due to complications, she's had to stay 2 more days. I've been trying to stay strong for my wife and daughter, but honestly, I'm really struggling. Regarding the original post, most commenters told me not to spend Christmas with them because of the holiday's significance. I agreed and decided to spend it with my wife. When I texted them this, they surprisingly said they respected my opinion and couldn't wait to see me after the holidays. I began investigating why they reached out. Michael is a corporate lawyer with 2 daughters, married in 2016. Sarah married a doctor and had a son. A friend told me Sarah divorced her first husband after he committed mail fraud. Casey married Amy right after high school, and they have 2 kids. They bought a big house last year, suggesting they're financially stable. Dad seems to be having a midlife crisis, and Mom is into the wellness community. I considered possible reasons for their outreach. Money seemed unlikely since 8 years ago my parents' combined salary exceeded mine and my wife's, and my siblings aren't struggling. Organ donation was possible, but unlikely since Casey was tagged skiing just before Christmas. They might want a relationship with my daughter, but she's not their first granddaughter. I contacted my estranged aunt, who explained everything.
No
She's
way.
got the lore dump.
Oh, dude.
Ooh-wee.
Oh.
To understand, you need to know why she was estranged.
Okay.
My paternal grandparents had 4 children. Dad was
Oh.
second oldest, my aunt third. After college, she came out as bi and began dating a girlfriend. My grandparents immediately disowned her. However, 4 years ago, Grandpa began reaching out. About a month ago, my grandpa asked my aunt about me, whether I was married or had kids. My aunt called him out for wanting to know after he supported Casey. That's when everything changed. Grandpa told my aunt that he'd been told I cheated on Amy with one of her close friends and that I deserved estrangement. So there was a big old lie going on.
What?
Big old collusion, a little coup d'etat.
You know, it is hard to keep siblings straight.
Being religious, he looks down on cheating. He'd been told that after my alleged affair partner confessed to Amy, she went to Casey and Sarah for comfort, and when I found out, I brutally attacked both Casey and Sarah. Ha ha ha, funny. You guys can't even support what you did. You can't even stand by what you did because you know it was wrong. When my aunt told me this, my jaw dropped. They hated me so much, they fabricated a terrible lie and spread it around. My aunt told Grandpa the truth, and he was shocked because he'd always thought Casey was a good kid. Grandpa then asked for my number, which my aunt declined to give. Here's why my family wanted to reconnect. Grandpa told me that if they didn't apologize and invite me for Christmas dinner, they'd be cut from his will. He's a multimillionaire. It is money. It's always money. The
Good.
will.
Don't apologize.
Yeah, don't.
Whatever.
Get that money, man. Yeah, they can try. I'd just be like, nope, sorry.
I hate that it took money for them to
Yeah.
actually come to their consistency that they were bad people.
Yep.
And they're only going to do a half-butt apology.
Yeah, it wasn't even a good one. It's just like,
'Cause-
come to Christmas, I guess, if you want.
Yeah, come to Christmas so we can make it
And
look
that's
like
probably
it.
why, like, when OP was like, yeah, I can't make it, they're like, it's fine. We don't even care. Whatever you want. So they reached out not to apologize for wronging me, but to protect their inheritance. Greedy people. After learning this, I blocked all of them. At this point, they're gone to me. I have a wife to support and in-laws who respect me. 3 days after New Year's, I received a call from an unknown number on my work phone. It was my grandfather. He'd likely gotten my number from my company's website. He apologized for not contacting me for 8 years and for missing important events like my graduation, wedding, and daughter's birth. We weren't close before, so his cutting me off hadn't bothered me. He told me he was so disgusted with my family that he's cutting them from his will and adding me. I'm conflicted. The money would help, but I don't want him using it to force a relationship. We talked for an hour. I thought perhaps I could build a relationship with Grandpa, but then he said something that infuriated me. He was disappointed that my daughter hadn't taken the family name. For context, when my wife and I married, we discussed last names. For legal reasons, I couldn't take her name, but we decided all future children would have her last name. By the way, we're deciding that you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story.
Well, too freaking bad, Grandpa.
Yeah, sorry, Grandpa. Ain't the way it works. You didn't want to have a relationship with me for 8 years. You also don't get to keep your last name in the family.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a reach out. Hey, how'd it go? You didn't have to listen to the lies of other people. And you can't still keep the will. I'd still have a relationship, but if you keep putting this whole last name thing on me, look, man.
Yeah.
You had a chance to make it right. You didn't.
Yeah.
This is where we're at.
Personally, I'd be like, hey, yeah, we kept the last name because I had a really complicated relationship with my family, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, don't even listen to him.
Yep. And then what I would do next is start making 503 organizations, nonprofit organizations, get that rolling, get it going, forge a little bit of relationship with your grandpa, and then say, F you, man. My daughter's not taking your last name. Donate it all to charity.
Yeah.
Thus, you already have 3 charities underneath your name, and then he donates multi-millions of dollars into those charities, and some of that will go into your pocket.
I agree. Perfect. Perfect plan. Opie says, I unloaded on my grandpa. Well, I don't think Opie's going to this plan. Calling him a senile old man and other hurtful things, telling him to never contact me again. His audacity after what I went through was astounding. I won't let him use money to control me. Even if I receive inheritance, I'll donate it to charity, though he's a man of false promises, so it's unlikely. These past weeks have been tough, and I hope to make it through. My wife has made her Facebook private, as have her in-laws. What my family will do to contact me is beyond me. They'd probably hire a private detective. I don't think they know where I live, but you never know. I considered a restraining order, but having lawyers in the family makes getting one difficult. And folks, that is the end of that story.
Holy cow.
Good luck to you, OP.
I'm going to see there's an update real quick. And I just checked. No
update. Tragically.
Happened 4 years ago.
Rough. Well, I hope OP's got everything figured out. But that is the end of that story and the end of this episode.
That's right.
So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.